Hello, everybody, and we are here at the Broncos Stadium, but we are not getting going on our pregame just yet. I just wanted to inform you about the fact that this is our game of the week on Varsity Sports Live, which means that it gets extra coverage, and there is a full interview with Dylan Funk of Varsity Sports Live, interviewing both head coaches that we'll see here today, both Coach Feedback and Coach Steffen. You can see that on the Varsity Sports Live channel. Just go to the videos category. Should be the first video right there. It's the Frontier Sports Live Episode 3. So you can see some extra pregame coverage, and there's some good information on how the seasons have gone so far. You can get a good feel for what the Spring Hill Broncos are expecting coming into this game and what Coach Steffen is expecting to look at and how they see this game affecting the rest of the season. So this is not the beginning of our pregame show just yet, but you should go and catch up if you have not yet on that great interview for both coaches and just a lot of good pregame coverage. It's got highlights of the previous week as well. So go check that out right now.
looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
The Burt Nash Center has been serving Douglas County since 1950. We offer a wide range of behavioral health services for youth and their families, including individual, family, and group therapy, parent support, case management, and medication services. Reaching out can be a difficult step, but it's a crucial first step. Contact us at 785-843-9192 or visit our website at burtnash.org. Our team is here for your team.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution. Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Gene's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Gene's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com. The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Eudora Parks and Recreation is committed to creating community through parks, people, and programs. Their goal is to provide recreational opportunities for the community of Eudora that will enhance and promote a healthy lifestyle for all ages. The Eudora Parks and Recreation Department gives Eudora residents and others from surrounding communities the opportunity for family-oriented activities. Visit their website at eudoraparksandrec.org to view their youth and adult programs, leagues, memberships, facilities, activity guides, and more, and follow them on all social media at Eudora Parks and Rec.
Are you looking?
Welcome in here to the pregame show, which is brought to you by Kaw Valley State Bank. They're not just your bank, they're your neighbors. Kaw Valley State Bank is proud to serve the Eudora community and proud to support Cardinal athletics. For more information, visit their website at kawvalleystatebank.com. Hopefully you got to go and check out a bit of that extra coverage that we've had here on this game of the week matchup. It's going to be a special one here today. Hayden, super excited for it, as the Crimson Cardinals crew have come here to take on the bucking Broncos, the eager equestrians, and what is sure to be a defensive dogfight, and you can view it all here on Varsity Sports Live. I'll throw Hayden Harves in there just to add to the alliteration. Hayden Harves is here with me, Reed McAvoy, and we are excited for a really good game that we're going to get into here. I'll go through some of the points from those interviews, starting first with what Coach Feeback from the Broncos was talking about, just because we want to get more familiar with these Broncos that we're going to be seeing for the first time this season. He said, whatever you do, you need to do the most, and they're trying to figure that out. Whatever you do best, you need to do the most. Saying that they're trying to figure out what he used a baseball analogy. He said they're trying to find their fastball. They want to find what they're best at so that they can focus on that. And he said that their seniors are finding their voice. He talked about how many seniors they graduated last year. It's a very different looking Spring Hill team here. And they are looking, of course, to be their best by November. Every coach is going to tell you that one. But it's very real for these Broncos and these Cardinals. But for these Broncos, as they're trying to essentially, you could say, find their voice, find what it is that these players, where these players' talents are, how they want to do it. But I say that they're trying to figure it out. They come into this game 2-0, which is actually that should surprise you a bit. The first matchup was with Bonner Springs, so it tends to be an easier opponent. They won that one 43-0. But then last week they played Tonganoxie in Tonganoxie, and they came away with the victory 18-14. It was a huge defensive matchup. There was turnovers all over the place, some offensive mistakes. And in the end, it was a pretty last second. You and I remember we watched it take place last Friday night, and it was an exciting end. The Broncos came out victorious, and so even though they are still working to find their fastball, the words of their own coach in between last game and this game, they beat Tonganoxie. They are 2-0 coming in here, and last year this matchup was a matchup of two 2-0 teams, but the Cardinals did drop that opener to Hayden, as we of course remember. But we talked about that we think that might have been a positive for them, and I talked with Coach Stefan about that as well, asking, do you think that opening game, that might have actually been really important for him? He said, I think that we had something to prove after playing okay week one, but not seeing a closer or more competitive score in the fourth quarter. And so the energy was high all week and has been good during practice all week for this game as well. But I love to hear that. It sort of just verifies what our theory when we were saying that we felt like they might be executing at an even higher level following that opening week loss for the first time in 5 years.
As a week one loss will do.
Yes, and it was good to hear him say yes. Not only did I feel that same way, but I saw it in the players. They reacted better. They reacted well. They worked at practice even harder, and we saw that in that win against Bonner Springs, which you could say was supposed to happen. They were supposed to win against Bonner Springs, but they played really good football all through that game. And so I asked him, I asked about the defense putting on a really good show with 2 picks and a touchdown. And I said, well, how did you feel with their performance? He said, we've been pretty locked in all summer with camp on defense, and we have experience there. Even though we are young, they're doing a good job of doing their job and playing well. I said this is going to be the first road game for the Cardinals. How much of a difference is there in that prep? And he said that they worked on that in the offseason. They went to they went to a camp in Baser and have also traveled to a jamboree, so they have some practice doing these things on the road. But you can see out there is some Cardinal support, absolutely, but it is royal purple all over the place here because it's also the Broncos home opener. That's right, they're 2-0 with 2 road games coming in here.
Both wins.
Very impressive. Interestingly, last year, Errol Seaman got injured in the Spring Hill game, picked up a concussion, and so he couldn't finish that game, and that was pretty early on, and so the Cardinals had to adjust. And so I brought that up. They adjusted, by the way, by handing the ball directly to their star receiver, Adrian Seals, rather than throwing it to him, and he ended up going for 72 and a touchdown on the ground.
Worked out pretty well.
I asked him, you're not, of course, going to have Errol Seaman here this week, as it looks like it's going to be a regular season-ending injury for him. He could be back for the postseason. And so might we see something like that? Could potentially hand the ball to Christian Jarrett. Who knows? He said that CJ has a big task on both offense and defense. He's a great blocker in our run game and on the edge. And so to be really kind of gave me a non-answer there. Didn't say yes or no, I'll hand the ball to CJ.
I think we see what he's implying.
But he was saying that he's involved in the blocking, and so they're probably not going to be handing the ball to Jarrett. Instead, it'll be Grayson Moody and Keelan Duncan, of course, who ran wild last game, putting up 5 touchdowns between the two of them. It was an amazing game for the two of those, getting their first varsity touches and touchdowns in some cases.
Well, like you said last week, it's one thing to beat an opponent you're supposed to beat. It's a whole nother thing to go into that game and play sound, play well. Of course, on the ground, they were imposing their will wherever they wanted it. So that was a feel-good story. We love to see both of those guys doing so well, and I look for Grayson Moody to have a pretty impressive day today.
Yeah, it's going to be Moody once again, of course, as the starting running back, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders in this game. This game, I see it as a defensive dogfight. I think it's going to be pretty slow, but because of good defense. I don't think that the Broncos will be able to break away. I don't think the Cardinals will be able to break away until we see some passing, which is a big point of emphasis for the Cardinals, especially the Broncos as well. But we have not seen a lot of passing. This was something that Dylan asked Coach Stephan about in that interview on the Frontier League Sports Live show, and Coach Stephan agreed. He said, yes, we have not passed the ball a lot. He said he sort of regretted not passing the ball more in the Week 1 loss against the Hayden Wildcats, but that there was something to it as well of sort of not showing their hand. That was almost exactly what he said, or at least it's a very accurate paraphrase. He said, I did not want to show what we're going to do in the passing game, which we saw that against Bonner. There was only there was 1 passing touchdown to CJ, but not a lot of throwing the ball. It was pretty much all on the ground, and there was no reason to take it off the ground. It was going very, very well. But in this game, 2 really strong defenses, great defensive lines. I took note of how many forced fumbles there were from the Spring Hill defense. Cardinals are going to have to protect the ball really well here today. And something else, they're going to be looking for a turnover. The Cardinals defense, we haven't seen a whole lot. Of course, there were the 2 interceptions last week, including an amazing pick 6 for Van Dong. But there haven't really been those crucial turnovers that change, that are huge momentum swings. And that is what a turnover can absolutely be. And the Cardinals really haven't had that yet. And today is absolutely going to be the day. I believe it was 5 times that the Broncos offense had turned over the ball this season compared to the 3 times they've taken it away from their opponent. And so the Cardinals will be looking to add to that number and getting some interceptions. Once again, it was Newt Schreiner and Braden Van Dong last week with the picks. Cardinals would love to get something like that going once again as we are closing in on kickoff pretty rapidly here. It's supposed to be right around 7, but of course with this being the Broncos home opener, there are a few different festivities that they're going through, and it's also youth football night, I heard, so there's a lot that will be going on. Kickoff might not be exactly at 7, but I can tell you it is definitely coming up, so keep it here on Varsity Sports Live as we are getting closer to the Varsity Sports Live Game of the Week.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community, with all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve. Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com. The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with our delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Eudora Parks and Recreation is committed to creating community through parks, people, and programs. Their goal is to provide recreational opportunities for the community of Eudora that will enhance and promote a healthy lifestyle for all ages. The Eudora Parks and Recreation Department gives Eudora residents and others from surrounding communities the opportunity for family-oriented activities. Visit their website at eudoraparksandrec.org to view their youth and adult programs, leagues, memberships, facilities, activity guides, and more, and follow them on all social media at Eudora Parks and Rec.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Back here on our Kaw Valley State Bank pregame show as we get closer to kickoff, which will be brought to you by Main Street Scoops and Sweeps. Main Street Scoops and Sweets. Offering premium Wisconsin-made ice cream, this sweet shop also has an in-house bakery that offers a wide variety of delicious baked goods. It's always ice cream time at Main Street Scoops and Sweets, and it is nearly football time here. Looking at some of the other notes that I took from the interview with Dylan, one I was just talking with Hayden about in the break that I thought was pretty funny. He said that their quarterback, his name is Jordan Miller, number 3. He's a junior here in his first year as their quarterback. He said he might have a little bit too much Brett Favre in him, but that the sky is the limit. If you know anything about Brett Favre, all-time leader in interceptions, which is actually impressive. You have to be good for your coach to be willing to continue to throw you out there if you're throwing interceptions. It's actually hard to lead in the bad stats. It means you're really good.
A lot of touchdowns.
But Miller does, if you look at his stats, he's got 2 touchdowns, 4 picks on the year. So they might be getting a little bit of the worst parts of Brett Favre right now out of him. But they've won their 2 games, which is that means that it can't be so bad for him. But the Cardinals would love to get some more picks here. That was just a good note that I thought was pretty funny.
Jordan's go ahead.
No, you're good.
Jordan's looking at about a 50% completion percentage at this point, and of course,
it was sub 50 actually.
With sub 50, just sub 50, and looking at the way these two teams have played and the kind of game I think both of us are expecting to see today.
Keep going.
I'm expecting a lot of defense, and I'm also expecting later in the game for one of those signature plays, you might call it, right? For whether it's a late turnover or a big play in the fourth quarter, there will be a point, whether it's in the third or the fourth, something in the second half of this game, where I think we'll turn around and look at it and go, that was kind of the turning point. That was kind of where the game started to pull away in this one team's favor. So I look very closely for that. I think it is going to be a relatively slow game. I think we're going to see a fairly slow start. The defense is going to be important. The trenches are likely going to win and lose this game. But I look for halfway or so through the fourth quarter, whether it's that big pass over the top or that fumble or something big that will likely determine the outcome of this game, just determined by who gets it.
I think it's interesting you mentioned a slow start. I think this game will be slow, but we might, if there could be a team that jumps the gun, grabs that first touchdown, that could be really huge here, because I do think it will be a slow game, but that doesn't have to translate to a slow start. Not to just discredit what you said, but
you're right.
Just if we see, say, a kick return touchdown or a first play touchdown, that could really set the tone for this game.
Absolutely.
As I do think that it will be generally in the trenches, but passing is going to be huge today. Coach Stefan, when I talked to him throughout the week, he said that their player, he said 85, which is Corey Kirkner here in his sophomore year, already has 4 receptions for 70 yards and a touchdown. He said 85 is really good in the pass game, and that they throw him 4 to 5 fade routes every game. And those plays are going to be big. There have been many a time already through these 2 games for the Cards where a defender or a receiver got behind the secondary, but the throw just wasn't there. And so it's going to be on Miller to capitalize. I think it sounds like there will be times where Kirkner might get behind the corners. You can show the team coming on. Gets behind the corners of the Cardinals, and they're going to have to be really careful here today. I think that it's going to be generally slow, but that the big play is going to play a really big part. It'll be, Moody's had multiple 50-plus yard rushing touchdowns. If he can break off one of those, or if we can see a big throw to CJ, or if the Broncos can instead find Kirkner or get something special out of Patrick Stump, their senior starting running back. And so I think that you're right to say this will be a slower game, very very likely so.
We could very well see some tone setters early.
A defensive dogfight, but that doesn't have to mean a slow start. And if it isn't a slow start, that might be really huge.
When I think both of these teams understand.
We got a mic'd up referee.
Ooh, I love that.
That's some game of the week energy right there.
That is game of the week energy. I think with how important both of those coaches understand that the start will be here and how important it will be to set the tone in a game like this, I completely agree with you that you might see a lot of that early, where these teams not only look for that big play, but you might see a little bit of forcefulness from both sides of trying to get it early, trying to set that tone, trying to give yourself that slight edge to get started. But it's going to be a good game. I agree with the term defensive dogfight you used. I think we're looking at maybe not a high-scoring shootout here, but we're looking at about as exciting of a football game as they come here. Can't ask for a whole lot more.
Looking at the weather here in Spring Hill, it's pretty nice right now, very breezy as well, but like just a nice breeze. It's 82 degrees here right now. It'll get only a little bit cooler, even all the way through to midnight. It'll only get all the way down to 75, so that just tells you it's going to be a very slow decline. It will get a little bit cooler for the players out there, but really right about that 80 degrees is what it will be here for playtime.
Well, also about a little under 50% on the humidity as well. And as we talked about last week and a couple of games before that, the temperature for the players out on the field is usually regarded to be about 20 degrees warmer than it is for those of us in the stands or the box or wherever else spectating. So if we're looking at, say, 82, 80 degrees tonight with a fairly high humidity, these players are playing in well over 100-degree temperature out here. So it's going to be interesting to see how the energy goes, how the fatigue wears in, see what kind of conditioning these players are in.
All right, so deep for the Cards. We have got Hubler and Preston White. All right, so it takes a fledgling Cardinal about 2 weeks before it's comfortable leaving the nest, leaving the support of its home, beginning to protect and defend itself, beginning to capture its food, and beginning, of course, to fly. Likewise, these fledgling Cardinals, they have begun with 2 weeks at home, but now the time has come for them to leave the nest, to leave their home support, to protect and defend well if they want to capture victory today. And we will get to see just how high they can fly. And we are live here on Varsity Sports Live as this game of the week matchup is underway, and it will begin with a touchback for the Cardinals offense. We will get to see what Connor Watson and co. can do here today.
I look forward to seeing how this game starts off on the ground, particularly with Grayson Moody and, of course, Keelan Duncan as well. But we can't forget Connor Watson is not an afterthought on the ground here. The threat of him being able to take off and run is significant, but I would expect Coach Stefan to start somewhat light. We like to call them high percentage plays sometimes. Don't start off with anything too crazy. I would expect to see a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of, the stuff they practice regularly just to try to get this team some tempo early on.
Yes, and Cole Manley, who's not even much of a rushing quarterback, as they jump there.
Offsides.
Will this be in favor of the Cards? They might have.
Might be a
They might
false
say
start.
that they induced the jump.
Encroachment.
You can zoom on the ref for these things since we can hear him so well. So it is against the defense. A good start for the Cardinals. They get 5 free yards. They will take that, go back to the huddle, and decide what they want to do next.
Well, I can't really say anything besides that initial bit. I expect to see some tempo, some rhythm, some easygoing stuff to start.
A give to Moody, and Moody's got the first. So the first carry for the Cards earns a first down. Moody had a really special day last week with the 3 touchdowns. You could tell that the first touchdown, when he got it, it really meant a lot to him and the whole team. And then he got to get in a couple more times. Have to imagine he loved that feeling, getting comfortable in there, not just acting like you've been there before. He had now been there before. So Watson with another first down. Jarrett, the only wide receiver. Motion man Van Dong. The snap, another give for Moody. Moody finding some space. Brought down after a gain of maybe 4.
On the carry, number 22, Grayson Moody.
And it doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to be fancy, but that kind of thing will win you football games, right? Just consistent yards, be able to fall forward for those 3 to 4 when you really need it.
They called it a... Okay, yeah. Okay. I heard a gain of 7 for a second. They called a gain of 6.
I heard 7 too. That was
looking at it out on the field,
like
looks more like a gain of 5. Whatever the case may be, it was a good carry by Moody.
We're not the refs.
Something that you would take again. Jarrett out on the left side. Oh yes, I was saying Cole Manley, not a super strong rusher of the ball, as Watson has this one in his hands and is brought down for no gain. Manley last year had 2 rushing touchdowns, and one of them was a long breakaway run where everybody bit on the fake handoff, and then he just ran. I don't think that Watson will have the same luxury of everybody believing the handoff, because Cole Manley was not one that was known for the run play as much, whereas Watson absolutely is. But we could still see something like that. Putting up 2 rushing touchdowns from your QB last year. Same head coach, same system. Could see something like that here today, as it is now third down. Jarrett to the left, Hendrickson in motion. It's going to be a toss for Moody to the left side. Got a block, and he is brought down short. Not very short, but it will be 4th down. Could the Cardinals opt for the aggressive approach here on 4th and 1?
Looks like it.
Just in their own territory. The offense will stay out there.
4th down and 1 is the official call.
Jarrett out on the right side again.
I'm going to be real, I like this call a lot.
And they are going to go for it, and they're going to get it. Still going is Moody. Still on his feet and finally brought down just short of the 50-yard line. First down, Cardinals.
I absolutely love that. I know it's kind of go either way on 4th down. Some people feel very strongly about him. You punt the ball away if it's 4th down. Some coaches like to go for it even farther out than that, get a little more aggressive. But specifically, a lot of situational awareness from Coach Steffen there. You're early in the game. Your run game is doing well. A yard felt very, very makeable right there. And it sets the tone for this defense for the Broncos that the Cardinals aren't going to go light here. This is not going to be a easygoing, timid kind of team.
Right, it can be very demoralizing to give up a 4th down conversion. Another handoff here. And this one's still going, backpedaling forwards. And they eventually say forward progress is stopped on Braden Van Dong with that carry.
Backpedaling in the right direction, I guess you could say.
Yep. I believe that's his first carry this year. We've seen some screen plays to him. So I asked Coach Steffen, I said he sort of gave a non-answer on handing the ball off to anybody non-conventional, anybody that's not Moody or Duncan. And we did see it there, and it worked for a nice gain of 6 from the tight end officially. Hendrickson in motion. This one looks like a broken play, and Watson will be taken down to the ground. I think that was supposed to be a handoff for Moody, and Moody didn't know.
I believe so. It looked like Looked like it was supposed to go up the middle to the running back. Looks like Connor Watson kept that ball. Little miscommunication, and the left side of that offensive line just got blown up by this Broncos defense. Absolutely nowhere for Connor Watson to go.
And that's going to happen is with Moody still settling in as the starting running back. I mean, Watts is really still settling in as the starting QB.
We forget Grayson Moody's a sophomore.
Right.
And he's still very early on into learning how this works, learning the motions of being a starter on this football team.
There are now 2 receivers, Van Dong and Jarrett, on the right side. First time we've seen any formational adjustment from the Cards, yet it is another carry. Moody leaping out like
Fighting
he
for the
was
yards.
is trying to stay above the water in the ocean. And he got about 4 there. So another 4th down here, this time in Broncos territory, but significantly longer than 4th and 1 is this 4th and 4. They will at least act like they're going for it. They could look for a Broncos jump like they got when the game first started.
Certainly so. We have not seen a genuine pass attempt yet either, worth noting as we approach 4th and 4.
Jarrett out on the left side. Same formation we've seen most of the day. Van Dong in motion. There was a little jump there from the Broncos, but they didn't react. And they were indeed just trying to see if they could get the Broncos defense to jump. The Cardinals will take a timeout. We will go ahead and do one here as well on this game of the week on Varsity Sports Live.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Welcome back here. It is still 4th down, and it looks like the Cardinals offense is still out there here on this 4th and 4.
Maybe just trying to get a look at the defense on that previous
we thought
lineup.
that maybe they were just trying to get the Broncos to jump, but no. They are back out there. A different wide receiver. It's no longer Jarrett. It's Preston White out on the right side for the Cards. Van Dong in motion. The snap is fumbled. Watson's going to run it, and he is going to be brought down right on the line to gain.
I believe he's just short of the line to gain right there.
I haven't seen a clear
Waiting on a signal.
But I guess I'm looking by that spot. Oh, yeah, they're going to spot him.
Cardinals are already moving off the field here.
Yeah, so just short. It was the snap was fumbled by Watson. He picked it up and ran it. Nearly got there. Brought down just a yard short. Not a horrible spot to turn the ball over. And I think a lot of decent positive signs in that first drive for the Cards. But now the Broncos starting with a shorter field at the 43-yard line.
And you like to call it the dread zone, of course, when a team is backed up into their own red zone. I call this the dead zone a lot of times. 40 to 40 is where you see a lot of teams take their shots and get aggressive.
First carry for Stumpf. Patrick Stumpf was touched in the backfield, and he will be brought down for a loss. That is something the Cardinals have been really good at here this season, is making that 1st and 10 carry be a tackle for loss, which just sets the tone for those next 3 plays.
Yep.
It is a huge momentum play, and that was really nicely done there by the Cardinals to bring down Patrick Stumpf, one that they call Patty Ice. I did not make it up. Check out the interview. Coach Feedback said he's Patty Ice. That was his 50th carry here this year. He's got just under 380 yards, 4 touchdowns. He has fumbled once. Here's the first throw of the day. Miller going to the right side, brought in by Jackson. Jackson has the first down. It's not Jackson, excuse me. That is Corey Kirkner, who Coach Steffen called out as being one of their really good receivers. And Kirkner gets the first down for the Broncos. First down in the passing game here for either side.
And that so nearly could have been a tackle for loss, too. He had 2 Cardinals draped over him as soon as he made the catch right there. Just not quite able to bring him down. It turns into a big play for the Broncos.
Yeah, the Cardinals haven't had to do it a whole lot, but we haven't seen super convincing passing coverage. This time it's Jackson. And Jackson will be brought down just short of the line to gain by Colton Bowser. A nice tackle there, but a pickup of 9. The Cardinals really have not been super convincing in the passing game coverage so far this season, and looks like the Broncos are going to test them on that.
Yep.
See if they've worked on it in the week. Des Hubler matched up with Ryan Jackson on this near side.
And you can be solid in the run game all day long, but the
Kirkner in
explosiveness.
motion, he's going to get the carry here. And he definitely has the first, brought down after a pickup of a few. That was only Kirkner's second carry this year, and his first carry went for 0 yards. So that was his first time.
First positive.
Yes, first positive run on the year for him. Earns another first down for the Broncos as they are knocking on the red zone.
And like we were saying, there's
Janovic with the tackle.
Speaking of,
you're good. Go ahead.
I'm loving to see the Broncos able to do both right here, running the ball well, throwing the ball well, as we see to the left side right here.
Stumped there, brought down by Van Dong. Picked up a few.
And this is what I'm seeing with the Cardinals a lot, is you see the Broncos right here are doing both well, right? On this drive, we've seen them impose their will well on the passing game, and they're able to move the ball on the ground. The Cardinals have, I don't know if I'd call one more important than the other, but a lot of coaches consider running the ball to be the fundamental starting point. You got to be able to do that first. And the Cardinals have that part down, but at some point you get into a situation where your back's against the wall and you need a little bit more explosiveness, and they've just been lacking that a little bit so far.
Another throw here for Miller, and he's going to get Jackson. Jackson brought down by Hubler. CJ helping out a little bit there. They are now in the red zone.
Just a one-step slant right there, matched up one-on-one with the corner. Take 2 steps, look to your right. Get as much explosive burst as you can, and in man-to-man coverage, that's a very tough route to guard if the receiver runs it well.
Smart by the Broncos to avoid the run game up the middle. When they've given it to Stumpf, it's been out to the wide parts. But just as I say that, there will be a run up the gut, and brought down by Leland Bradshaw is Patrick Stumpf. Coach Steffen highlighted him, saying that he runs very hard and he fits the scheme really well and knows what he's doing when he's coming to try and find those gaps. But I don't think that the Cardinals are going to be giving up many of those gaps, so they've been running it to the outside or just going with the passing game, which has been very lucrative for them so far. It's 2nd and 5 here, just 8 yards out from the end zone. Miller gives it to Stumpf. Stumpf up the middle, and he will be stuffed after a gain of maybe 1.
Yeah, and I'd say as far as the scheme fit goes, Coach Feedback seeing he fits the system well, runs hard. I'm seeing a lot of system fit. I can already see that through one drive. He certainly fits this offense well, fits this team well, but those Cardinals are not going to allow a whole lot up the middle between the tackles tonight, if I had to guess.
It was Cage, Crable, and Riley Nice forcing the 3rd down. Stumpf going to the left side, and Hagan will wrap him up and bring him down, I think, just short of that first down. So we might see a kick here. They do have a very capable kicker. You saw in the pregame. I know you mentioned it. That was Ryan Jackson.
Watching it, yep.
2 for 3 on field goals this year. Though it will be short distance if they were to want to go for it in the same way that the Cardinals did, and they are going to go for it. They've got 2 receivers and then 2 running backs in the backfield.
It's like 12 personnel.
They're going to give it to Stumpf, and I think he got it. It's
the ball came out.
The ball came out for a second. Des Hubler thinking that the Cardinals either made the stop or came away with the ball. They're going to go down and spot it now and figure it out. I think the Cardinals made the stop. The referees haven't. Yes, they did.
That's it.
Cardinals with another forced turnover on down, something they've also been good at so far this year. We saw it especially in the first game against the Wildcats. So 2 turnovers on downs. I think that could be a story of the day here.
Yep.
Even though I thought this game is going to be slower than it was, both offenses have been moving pretty well. In the end, neither one of them able to finish anything off, and it did eventually turn into what I thought we would see today, which is that battle in the trenches being won by both defenses here today. But now the Cardinals backed up definitely in the dread zone as they have to navigate in the shadows of their own goalposts. Watson hands it off to Moody. Moody with a great first move, and then wrapped up after maybe 3.
And this is field position may not show it necessarily on the box score, but we're seeing 2 very, very similar drives to start this game. Both offenses started off well moving the ball, seemed to be able to kind of go wherever they wanted to start off, and as they move further into opposing territory, you just see the defenses tighten up a little bit, and it leads to what we saw, 2 turnover on downs to start out so far. Both coaches trying to get aggressive and both failing to this point.
Preston White out on the left. Hendrickson in motion. It's going to be a toss for Moody. Moody finding some space, splitting some blockers. Moody with a big gain here. He could go,
here
Moody.
He goes.
It's a 50, and he's going to be brought down. A 50-yard run for Grayson Moody. The Cardinals desperately needed that one. They are way out of the dread zone and now in Broncos territory.
And this Cardinals section is awake and alive right here. This stadium woke up, and we're sitting right up against the Broncos side.
A credit to the tackle there.
Yes,
Somebody
fantastic tackle.
Caught up to Grayson Moody as he was behind the entirety of Spring Hill.
That was a touchdown-saving tackle for sure.
But Moody with a huge play. Again, Preston White is the receiver in. Not sure, maybe an injury to Jarrett. Preston White, though, we've seen he's a very good player. We've got a player in motion, Bryce Mulvihill, and it's going to be another run up the middle.
Looks like Keelan Duncan.
Was it Duncan's first carry here today?
Believe so.
Yes, Keelan Duncan, the freshman, getting in there, coming off his 2-touchdown week.
And speaking of momentum and that big run, I actually wrote down in that last break we went on that momentum late in the game especially will be huge, but any kind of swings are going to make a big difference here as we look at this kind of knockdown, drag-out fight we're looking at.
Yeah, and that play was huge for momentum because the Cardinals were trapped. They were in a horrible spot. And now they are in plus territory. Hendrickson in motion. The give to Duncan. Actually, I think Watson may have kept. He may have wanted to keep. But Duncan did end up taking it for a few. Coach Steffen talked about that the Cardinals need to. I asked him, what are your offensive keys? And one of them he highlighted was making the right read on the option plays.
Right.
And it seemed like that may have been an option play there where Duncan and Watson might not have been on the same page. I think Duncan was probably the right option to keep it there. Didn't really go for a huge gain. But if they're going to be those option plays to try and fool the defense, Cardinals going to need to make sure they make the right reads.
And this third down is massive right here. The defense put you in a good spot. You answered back into opponent territory. This is big.
Player in motion is Van Dong. So run up the gut. Is Moody still, Moody or Duncan still going?
Looks like enough for a first. Looks like Grayson Moody right there.
Yep, Grayson Moody was back in, and he got the first down.
Chains are moving.
Right at the 25, a big pickup there on the 3rd and 3. Grayson Moody earning the first down, playing a big role here. We knew he would play a big role, but he's not just, getting those opportunities. He is capitalizing on them. He is eating them up. He is doing really, really well here. I didn't think we would actually get to see another 50-yard run from him here against this defense, but he proved me wrong here, and it's still the first quarter.
Puts the defense in a great spot, too. They get to see that the offense is capitalizing on the moves they're able to make.
Van Dong in motion to give. Where's the ball here?
Looks like it went up the middle,
Must have been a give to Moody. Totally fooled me. I thought Hendrickson had it, and then I thought Watson had it.
Moody will emerge after a gain of about 5 up the middle right there. I thought Connor Watson had the ball. I think you thought Connor Watson had the ball.
As always, Moody got the ball, gain of 5.
Feels like he just got a weight on his chest, right, and just falls forward for those extra yards. You don't see him go backwards very often.
We have seen that early here, his determination to not go down at first, second, or even third contact.
Right.
It's going to take at least half of the Spring Hill defense if you want to actually get Moody down by contact.
Love to have those advanced metrics, how many yards after contact, things like that.
2nd and 5, another toss for Moody. Moody's got the first. Moody's got space, brought down inside the 10.
He was so close once again to a touchdown, just one ankle tackle away from walking into the end zone to set up a 6-0 lead for the Cards here.
I think he was groaning a bit on the ground thinking, oh man, I thought I was already in there. But he puts the Cardinals in a great spot, and the first quarter is going to come to an end with the Cardinals walking towards their sideline, pumping up their fan section, saying, let's go get into this game because we are trying to get into the end zone. It is a great start here this first quarter of the game of the week. Does end scoreless, but really positive signs for the Cardinals. Keep it here on Varsity Sports Live.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Cardinals offense about ready for their first play here of the second quarter as they are knocking on the end zone here. That same formation we've seen all day. Hendrickson in motion. It's a give to Moody. Moody put his head down trying to gain anything out of that play, but I don't think that he was able to pick up even a yard. You do see Christian Jarrett back out there.
54, Logan Alexander. Second and goal for the Cardinals and the Broncos.
It's going to be second and goal from the 6. Cardinals talking it over here.
And this is where play calling becomes big, right? Especially this deep in the red zone. The field's condensed. Everything's a little tighter, a little bit harder to move around. Play calling is crucial in these moments right here.
Jarrett on the left, Hendrickson in motion, Watson with the keep, and Watson sort of slipped up there, but he was also intending to go down anyway. So a loss on that carry for the QB.
Just going to back him way off. That Broncos defensive line got ferocious right there. Front 7 blew right by this Cardinals offensive line, got in Connor Watson's face immediately, and you're right, he may have slipped, but I think he was planning to go down right there anyways. He had no breathing room. By the time he was able to get his eyes upfield, everything was pretty well closed off, had royal purple all over.
Yeah, if he didn't slip, I think the only alternative was losing more yards on that one.
Right.
As it's now third and goal, but it's further than 10 yards. Looks like it would be about 13 or 14 to try to get to the end zone here. Watson looking to throw here for the first time today towards Jarrett, and it will end up going off the hands of the corner, Mikey Beck.
Just about picked off right there.
Falling incomplete. Watson sort of tried to find that spot of it's my guy or nobody, and Beck sort of ended up occupying that space, and it was more of a throw towards nobody. Going to be Nate Steinlage's first field goal attempt here on the year.
Yeah, great.
We've seen him, honestly, just to be a little blunt, I feel like his kicks have looked a little shaky.
Yeah.
He was 6 for 7, though, on the year on PATs. This one's going to be a
about PAT distance.
30-yard kick here. Snap is down, and the kick is low, and it is blocked. Though to block, say it was blocked might be to flatter the Broncos defense. That kick was too low to get over anybody there, so Steinlage will go 0 for 1 here on his first field goal attempt of his senior year.
And we remain
the
scoreless.
Broncos will take over right there. So yes, it's been that defensive game, not so slow for the offenses, but no capitalization.
Right.
The Broncos got really close. The Cardinals had a nice opening drive, and then just now, Cardinals got into really good field goal range and even just a good spot where you could try and score the touchdown on that third or fourth down play, but they end up turning it over just barely in the dread zone, but I don't know if the Broncos will be too worried. Cardinals, though, would love to try and snatch something away here.
Well, and we talked about it yesterday during the soccer game about how you can have all the numbers, but until you capitalize.
For Hank Kochaver.
On the carry, number 10.
You can finish your thought, Hayden. It's fine.
Oh, you're good. No, we were talking in the soccer game yesterday at Eudora. Ended up being a 3-0 victory for them. But we were talking about how you can control the game and you can control the tempo and do all the right things. But if the score sheet shows no points and you don't end up winning the game or capitalizing on those opportunities, it just doesn't mean that much.
Too wide here for the Broncos. Here's this snap, and looking to throw is Miller, and Miller will find Jackson. Jackson is wrapped up but still going, and Bowser, with some help from Christian Jarrett, some crucial intervention by Christian Jarrett, helped bring down Jackson.
Looks like that was number 15, Newt Schreiner, also delivered a heck of a hit at the end of the play right
Was that Newt? I thought that was Christian.
I believe it was Newt.
Okay. Been out there on that defensive secondary. Got the pick last week. A very exciting moment for him. 2nd and 2 here following the nice gain. 2 receivers on the left. Stumpf is the main back. It's a give for Stumpf. Stumpf has the first, lowers his head into Kugler. Van Dong ends up bringing him down.
Once again, 2 plays in a row. Van Dong with a heck of a hit right there. That's 2 times in a row between Newt Schreiner and Braden Van Dong, lowering the shoulder at the end of the play. I don't know if there's a rivalry history here. You'd know better than I do, but it seems like there's a little bit of chippiness between the 2 sides here.
Well, it is Frontier League matchup. These teams see each other every year. Always a good matchup. Hagan trying to put some pressure on Miller. Miller with a lot of time to throw, and wow, that one probably should have been caught by Kirkner. Miller had all day. Kirkner got behind his corner, and it ended up going right through his hands.
You hear the phrase quite a bit in not even professional football, just football in general when it comes to wide receivers and corners. They'll tell your quarterback if he's even, he's leaving. So you'll see a receiver running downfield, and they tell the quarterback, if you see your receiver get even with the DB, let that ball go because odds are he's already on track to beat him by the time you get there. And he certainly saw it. He took the shot over to the left side, had his man open, just not quite precise enough over on that left side.
Kirkner on the right, Jackson on the left. Miller does not look to throw, instead hands this one off for Kochaver, and Kochaver with another big gain. We've seen 2 carries for him on this drive, and both have been significant gains. I think the first one went for 8. That one looked like 6 or 7 on the year coming into this day. He had 8 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown, so a very effective runner is number 10, Hank Kochaver.
It's very efficient, too. Not a lot of carries for a good bit of production. That's what you love to see if you're a running back coach and offensive coach.
3rd and 3, 3 wide. 3 gives it off to Stumpf, and Stumpf with the pickup of the first down for the Broncos. Moving now into Cardinals territory.
And in this kind of game, those third downs can be backbreaking, right? When you get so close, you have to struggle to get them to those third downs, even if they are short yardage. And for your defense, you're just looking for any opportunity to get off the field, and those third downs can really take the wind out of the sails of a defense.
3 wide once again for the Broncos. This time Miller will throw. He goes for Kirkner. Kirkner brings it down. Jarrett wraps him up along with another Cardinal there. Looks like Elijah Cloves was helping out there. It was. Kirkner picks up 4 or 5, though.
And this Broncos offense starting to hum to this point. You're seeing the body language loosen up a little bit. This team looks excited playing in front of their home crowd, of course, for the first time this year. Cardinals trying to upset the Darling return home on the road here.
3rd play in a row that they are 3 wide here on 2nd and 5. Miller still looking to the sideline, getting the play call. Takes the snap. The give here for Stumpf. Stumpf head down, running strong, and he's got a 1st and more. Van Dong ended up making the tackle, but not before Stumpf got to the 24.
And Braden Van Dong might have saved what could have been getting to the 10-yard line, if not a touchdown right there. The middle of the field was open, and that may have been, if Braden wasn't able to make that tackle, Stumpf might have gone all the way right there.
Same formation, 3 wide. Another give for Stumpf. Stumpf goes down right at the 25.
And we shouldn't necessarily feel demoralized yet, right? Of course, the Broncos have moved right down into the field close to the red zone. But we saw this on the last drive as well, and the Cardinals tightened up a lot once we got closer to the end zone right there. We're able to force that turnover on downs.
Demoralized is a very strong word. I'm not even close. This has been a great game.
We're not demoralized. We're good.
This has been a
poor
great
choice
game
of words.
You're okay. Miller throws for Jackson. Jackson's got the first. He's trying to find more space. Newt Schreiner ends up helping Des Hubler make the tackle.
Newt Schreiner was trying to punch that ball out, too. You saw he wrapped him up, and his hands went straight over to that ball, trying to get it popped out right there. Not quite able to get it out, but he does make the tackle.
The Broncos have found something that they like with this 3 wide formation. They have not gone away from it for almost the entirety of this drive. Stumpf is the main back. Going to be a throw to the left. It's Jackson again, and play works again. They're doing these short 4 or 5 yard curl routes, and it is working to perfection right now against the Cards.
I believe that's the 3rd time I've seen that play thus far. Of course, the 2nd time in a row. Just having the receiver release a few yards deep to the flat, and if it's one-on-one and you can get your receiver open, you don't necessarily need 10 or 15 air yards if your receiver can make a guy miss after the catch, which is what they've been able to do so far.
You already know it's a 3 wide. This time Miller keeps it, and Miller is stopped right at the 5.
Slow and steady wins the race, right? Nothing too explosive, nothing fancy, nothing sexy to this point, but certainly seeing a lot of good, efficient play out of the Broncos right now, and they've marched their way straight down this field, putting a lot of tension, a lot of pressure on this Cardinals defense.
3rd and 2 here. It's possible for them to pick up a first down.
Or for the Cardinals to get a 4th down.
In front of the end zone. Yes, true. Stumpf with the carry. Stumpf thinks some Spring Hill players thought he was in. I think he might have just gotten that first down. So it could be 1st and goal now from the 1.
Substitution there. Looks like Henderson came out. Number 10, Hank Kochavar, went in.
Now they finally changed formations, 2 wide and 2 in the backfield. Miller, it was a bad snap, but they did really well to adjust to the bad snap. And the carry did go for a gain, but minimal for Stumpf and not into the end zone, at least yet.
2nd and goal, just inside the 1.
Inside the 1. You can't be a whole lot closer than that. And once again, it's just the Cardinals defense trying to play bend, don't break, but this Broncos offense is just, they're saying positive plays, right? We just don't want to go backwards, even if it's half a yard forward.
Jackson left, Kirkner right. Backfield is Stumpf and Kochever. It's going to be a keep for Miller. Miller to the right side. And a great tackle there by Christian Jarrett. Not only a time of need, but it's a loss there. A tackle for loss. They lose about 3 yards on that one. What a clutch play by CJ.
And it looked for a second like Jordan Miller was going to walk right into the end zone right there. Went wide left, gave Christian Jarrett an opportunity to wrap him up and bring him down. And that is certainly a momentum booster for this Cardinals defense as they try to, once again, hold a touchdown, even if you're not holding any points, just to come away giving up as little as possible here.
I fear it might be a little bit positive, though, for the Broncos as it opens up those curl routes once again. They were cramped before at the 1. Now back at the 3. 3 gives it to Stumpf, and Stumpf is brought down. At least for now, the Cardinals have made a stand. It's 4th and goal. Could we see another turnover on downs?
Certainly possible.
Van Dong, they say, makes the tackle. So number 4 forcing a 4th down.
And he was on his back right there too. Didn't give Stumpf a whole lot of room at all once he got that carry.
Big moment here. The fans can feel it. 4th and goal from the 1. 2 wide, 2 in the backfield. Miller takes the snap, gives to Stumpf. Stumpf puts his head down, and Stumpf is in. It is a touchdown on 4th down for the Broncos. Cardinals with a very strong defensive drive, but in the end, they do give up the touchdown. Broncos score first here today. It's 6-0 Spring Hill.
Man, the Cardinals defense sure gave a valiant effort right there. Did everything they possibly could. Got them all the way to 4th down, backed them up on 3rd down. Sometimes as a defense, you just can't do much to beat perfect offense, and that was a perfectly executed 4th down play for the Broncos.
Ryan Jackson here to take this PAT. 6 for 6 on the year. And it is up and through, so the lead for the Broncos is 7. As finally we have seen a defense give up a touchdown, but the Cardinals were not very interested in giving up that touchdown.
Right.
They had to be lulled and convinced pretty hard to finally give up that touchdown. Broncos score first here at 7-0, going to the break. 4 minutes left before halftime.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Number 6, Cy Thomas.
Back here
Kicking off the Broncos.
at the stadium that they call the Shack, the stable of the Broncos. Jackson prepares to kick this one deep. Hubler, one of the return men, back for the Cards. They'll have 4 minutes left to try and respond to the Broncos' opening score here today. This kick will go right on the goal line. Hubler going right. Hubler with some space. Hubler still going. Still Hubler down at the 50. It's in Broncos territory. A second play of longer than 50 yards for this Cardinals team. Huge play there, huge.
And we talk about momentum, right? We talk about so much about trying to give yourself any kind of spark, any kind of signs of life that you possibly can for your offense. And we saw that Grayson Moody big run earlier. Cardinals weren't quite able to capitalize, but marched right down to the red zone after that big run.
Too bad we're not at home because the chance of Hubler would have been
very
dominance there. 1st and 10 right at the 50. This is a toss for Kevin Hendrickson, a first carry for him here today, and a strong tackle from Clayton Valerie.
And just like that, this, as we've seen for most of the day, you see a very positive play, very energetic, explosive play from the Cardinals, and the Broncos answer right back the next play with an explosive play of their own for a loss.
I still think that, finish your thought, you're good.
Feels like a tug of war at this point is all I'm at.
Oh yeah. I still think that return is so big from Hubler because with such little time left, to shorten the field by half is an amazing play, and the Cardinals really need to capitalize. 2 wide here on the left side. It's going to be a run, though. Watson with the keeper. He's got some green over there. Turns the edge finally and picks up a few before stepping out. Looks like maybe a gain of 5 there.
Going to be third down and medium here. This third down is big because now if you're on the Broncos side and you're coaching, your mindset starts to flip. You're sitting at midfield right here, well outside of field goal range for the Cardinals, and there's 3 minutes left on the clock. If you're able to get this third down stop, you're giving yourself an opportunity to get the ball back and try to score again before halftime, which is evenly matched as these teams seem. That would just be massive going into the locker room.
It was a crucial moment last week when Tonganoxie scored as time expired for halftime. Watson goes left, throws left, it's caught! I don't even know if he saw that he had a receiver there, but he found Bryce Mulvihill for a big first down. But I was going to say there, Hayden, last week it was something that Coach Feeback talked about in his interview. They gave up a touchdown to Tongi as time expired, which was unbelievable to them because they punted away with 17 seconds left and gave up a touchdown to Tonganoxie. And he saw it reflect in his players' faces during halftime that a lot of players were really, they were drooping because of that. The seniors helped pick them up. Of course, they ended up winning that game. But the Cardinals would love to deliver an equally demoralizing blow here. As we approach halftime, it's Mulvihill in motion. It's going to be a toss to Moody. Moody with some blocks, spins left, and won't be brought down, but he will be halted before he could actually gain anything on that carry. Did a lot of work just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Right. And that first down was so big because now you're running the clock down, looking at closing in on the 2-minute warning, just making the Broncos step back and continue playing defense, just keeping them from retaining possession with plenty of time to go back down the field. Points on this drive are going to be instrumental for the Cards right here.
White on the right. Mulvihill in motion. Watson keeps it. Chugging forward. Might have gotten one there. It'll be third and long.
It just feels like the Broncos are very, very clear at this point on we want to come in. I don't know if you talked to Coach Feeback if you mentioned this, but the defense so far very much seems to be playing the mindset of we're going to stop the run and make you do something else. We're going to make you beat us in a different way. And they are kind of banking on the fact that the Cards may not be able to go through the air and answer in a big way. And so far, aside from that third down catch to Mulvihill, we haven't seen a whole lot of that. The Cardinals may need something big right here to almost step off the Broncos once again and show them you need to respect us a little bit more.
I think the Cardinals are smart here to be running down, chewing up most of the clock. They've got 2 wide, Mulvihill and White, and Watson will roll that way. He's going to throw that way, and it was in the area of Preston White, but could only maybe get a fingertip to the ball there. It'll be fourth down with 1:14 left on the clock. It's an interesting spot here for Coach Steffen to think, do you punt and try to have your defense make a stand for the next minute, which is both the conservative thing and still very dangerous?
Right.
Or do you go aggressive, hope that you can get the first, maybe even just to continue eating the clock, whether or not you can go down and score, but if you don't get it, then you give a short field, and in the end, Steffen will answer that riddle by saying, we'll go ahead and punt. Nate Steinlage out there standing near the 50-yard line.
See if he can pin this punt fairly deep.
Here is the senior Steinlage taking his time. He is going for a directional punt, and he's going to force a fair catch inside the 10. And no flag there. Some Spring Hill fans were looking for it, but only some light contact on Benny Reagan, who opted for the fair catch. So the Broncos pinned inside the 8. Nicely done by Steinlage.
Coach Feeback was looking for a flag over there along the sideline, too. He was a little bit heated, certainly wanted a flag. Didn't quite get it. The team is going to be pinned back deep. They're going to have just over a minute to answer here.
And so now they're going to have to execute. I don't imagine the Broncos will be super concerned with trying to score here, but they also have no room for error. They can't be a bad snap or a loose carry where you're not protecting the ball well. The Cardinals will be looking to, of course, force a fumble or try and make a pick and just keep them uncomfortable. Cardinals have 2 timeouts left. Broncos have all 3. 3 wide on the left side. It's going to be a running play here up the middle. And a gain of a few, a strong carry there by Stumpf.
And I wonder if you were coaching this, would you be trying to go down the field aggressive and try to get points, or do you think you'd be running the clock out and living to see halftime?
I think you're trying to survive, maintain your lead, get into the break. But of course, you're not going to turn an opportunity down if it presents itself.
Of course.
Giving it to Stumpf every time is, of course, something that could be dangerous.
It's proven reliable.
He could break free. George Hagan made the tackle there. They are moving with a little bit of pep in their step. Not a lot, but they want to keep it going. They've got 3 wide, 2 on the right, 1 on the left. Stumpf is the main back. Here's Miller. Miller rolls to his right. That's the stronger side, and Klobes got a hand to him, made him spin around, and then it is a completed pass. Not a huge gain there, but a positive gain, and he then gets out, does Peyton McAvoy.
What looked like some backyard football, too. Not quite sure how Jordan Miller was able to stay up on his feet right there. He had Cardinals draped all over him in the backfield, was somehow able to get that throw off, not only get the throw off, but get it off for positive yardage, too.
So after that gain of 9 to Peyton McAvoy, no relation to yours truly, Reed McAvoy.
Timeout taken.
And Jordan Miller will take a timeout here before their next play. We will go ahead and take a quick break here as well.
High quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Gene's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family owned, Gene's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Gene's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Gene's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com.
Back here as we are approaching the end of this first half, but it feels like there could be something here for either side before we go into the break, and both teams can't decide if they want to play careful or aggressive.
Right.
And it makes sense. You would hate to give away free points to your opponent, but you also, if you're Spring Hill, hate to sit back while you've got the ball in your hands. You know, you'd like to try and have some belief in your own offense. Miller here gives it to Stumpf, who's got the first and a whole lot more, and he will eventually be brought down by Christian Jarrett.
And I was just about to say, it doesn't quite feel like we're done with explosive plays yet in this first half. It feels like there's something else brewing, whether that's going to be from the Broncos offense or from the Cardinals defense. Feels like these teams are not at the point of just running out the clock, for sure.
All right. 18 seconds left, 1st and 10. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Miller looking left, throws left. He's got Jackson. Hubler follows him out of bounds as he gets 9 or 10.
And Jackson's just been so dangerous over in that left side. It's reminiscent of somebody else in Kansas City who we may know fairly well, who just, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts almost, of just little completion, and then you look up on the stat sheet and he's got 60, 70 yards.
Again, 3 wide, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Miller looks left once again. He's going for Jackson. Jackson against Hubler, and overthrown there just a bit. Hubler did well in coverage, so Miller's throw falls incomplete with 7 seconds left.
Quite sticky coverage from Hubler. Had to force. It was good coverage, beatable coverage for sure, but when the DB is playing that well in trail technique and coverage, it just makes it very, very difficult for the quarterback to beat it, because you're making them make a perfect throw to beat you. The only way to beat that coverage is for Miller to put a perfect throw in the perfect spot.
You know, it's interesting. Coach Steffen said that they often throw fade balls to Kirkner, but we've seen it all for Jackson so far. With 7 seconds left, you really can't get anything going. They might look for Kirkner here. Miller rolling towards Kirkner, and will end up just throwing this one away on 3rd and 1, and there will be potentially a second left. Could we see a special teams opportunity for the Cardinals? Sometimes they will run off the last couple seconds, but it looks like we are going to have a 4th and 1 play. They don't have to punt it, really. Actually, they should go for it. It's not going to be, it doesn't matter. You can't turn it over with a second left. So a free ticket for a Hail Mary, essentially, if Miller wants to take it.
If I'm talking to Jordan Miller, I'm telling him, just don't turn it over. Just throw it out of bounds.
They give it to Stumpf instead of going for the run, and Stumpf trying to make the most out of that go for whatever you could do opportunity. And he got a few yards, but we will go into the break. It's been a good one here. We have seen some strong defensive performances, but there have also been some methodical offensive drives. It is 7-0 for the Broncos as we go to halftime.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no...
You know just how time-consuming it can be searching for royalty-free media. And when you do find some, they're...
More time before you wake up.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
The Burt Nash Center has been serving Douglas County since 1950. We offer a wide range of behavioral health services for youth and their families, including individual, family, and group therapy, parent support, case management, and medication services. Reaching out can be a difficult step, but it's a crucial first step. Contact us at 785-843-9192 or visit our website at burtnash.org. Our team is here for your team.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible.
At Kansas Insurance.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family-owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small-town hospitality at a valued price. High-quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time-tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with our delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Rope, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Micro, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright.
Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do.
And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
How do you see the world?
Ha! At Shriners Hospitals for Children, we know that changing how you see things can turn them into
everyday miracles.
Like riding my bike.
Breaking boards. Ha! Hugging my mom.
Every day for over 90 years, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been sending love to the rescue, regardless of a family's ability to pay.
If you know a child we can help, call or go online now.
All right, welcome in here to our halftime show on the Game of the Week. Got the Spring Hill Band performing here out on the field as we are going to get going on our Jean's Heartland Foods halftime show. Shop local and support local at Gene's Heartland Foods. Visit their website, eudora.heartlandfoods.com, to sign up for exclusive offers and rewards today. And Hayden, it was an exciting first half. It was a little different than what we were expecting, but
certainly
only in the manner of which that the defenses were fighting here. I thought that it might be slow and small gains, but we've seen two offenses that are rolling. Both of them are moving with absolute. They're just moving smoothly. They are basically doing whatever they want, but it's about finishing off. And both teams have struggled with that. Even the Broncos, when they finally did get that touchdown, it was really hard, and they very nearly did not come away with that touchdown. Had they not been able to acquire a first down on the 1-yard line, they would not have been able to get in. The Cardinals stood up very strong there, got them all the way to 4th down, right on the goal line. And eventually the Broncos punched it in. The Cardinals, of course, had their second drive end with a missed field goal from 30 yards out. And they got all the way down the field. We've seen two huge chunk plays for the Cardinals. We really haven't seen any big plays for the Broncos. They've just been consistent. They've been getting somewhere between 5 and 15 yards every play, which is exactly what you want for your offense.
It's a winning formula.
Yeah, the Cardinals have had multiple 50-yard plays. Of course, there was the Hubler return and the Moody big run. If they could have gotten that field goal, it would be 7-3, but instead the Cardinals do find themselves scoreless here at the end of this first half, but definitely no need for worry here. They just need to see themselves execute when we get back out of the break. What kind of things are you seeing here on this Game of the Week broadcast?
Well, I marked down the drives as we were rolling. We started off turnover on downs from both sides, and on the first Cardinals drive, a lot of early carries from Moody and a 4th down conversion before that eventual miss. The Broncos had a lot of big passes, were moving the ball with impunity on their first drive. Also failed a 4th down in the red zone, so 2 turnover on downs. That missed field goal attempt from the Cardinals came up next with a 50-yard run from Grayson Moody right there. They didn't throw fantastic and missed that field goal low, but plenty of spark from the offense right there. And then the last, what I'd call real drive for the Broncos right here, was a very slow and methodical one. You're right, it was anywhere from 4 to 6 yards at minimum on every play, and then a couple of explosive ones. There was a great run pass balance right there. It was a pretty even split. And the defense tightened up a lot for the Cardinals as they got closer to the red zone, held the Broncos all the way to 4th down and about a yard. And they were able to convert on that with Stumpville, who's been great. And then on that last Cardinals drive that ended with a punt as we neared the end of halftime, Mulvihill still had that catch on 3rd down, showed a little bit of spark from Connor Watson in this offense through the air, and that drive kind of stalled across the 50-yard line. But for me, the main separating factor so far just seems to be the fact that the Broncos are moving the ball through the air just a little bit better. Both defenses are playing tight. I don't think this game is super uneven to this point. It feels very evenly matched, although the score obviously shows 7-0. If this game is executed well, we could have 2 or 3 touchdowns from each side easily.
And you know what else we haven't seen is that big turnover. We've seen turnovers on downs, and we've seen a missed field goal.
No fumbles,
we've seen a punt, which the punt by Steinlage was phenomenal.
Yes.
But we have not seen interception or even a fumble. We've seen some bobbles and some bad snaps, but so far the offenses have been very clean and very effective.
Right.
And I think it could end up being a matter of who slips up first if that is going to happen. You know, we've seeing the first 2 weeks of these teams, they're still figuring things out, and they may have gotten some better ball protection over the from last Friday to this Friday. But I figure that there's going to be a big one, and I think we'll know it when we see it. I think there will be a big fumble or a big interception that feels like everything has just changed. We thought one team was about to score, now the other team is about to score. We thought one team might put this game away, now the other one's right back in it. However it comes, I think we'll know it when we see it, and I do still think that it's coming. I feel it in my knee, Hayden. I know it's going to happen.
Well, and it feels like if I had to kind of assign keys to the second half for each of these teams, my key for the Cardinals, if I'm Coach Stephan in that locker room right now, our main emphasis is just executing on our pass plays a little bit better. Because although we're far from a dire situation right here for the Cardinals, I do think we'll hit that point later in the game where Coach Stephan is going to have to look at Connor Watson and say, I just need you to make a play. We just need something through the air. We just need a chunk. And that feels like the deciding factor right now is just that the Cardinals are struggling a little bit through the air. That would be my main key for them in half number 2, along with just keeping to stay efficient on the ground, keep playing good defense. If I'm the Broncos, I'm not wanting to change a whole lot. I'm not wanting to let my play change a whole lot, my style change a whole lot. I'm looking to play very, very similar to how we did in half number 1.
It's funny that you tied in soccer at one point, because I think we are seeing something very soccer-esque in the way that the teams have had possession, right? They've had the ball. They've
We're
had
at even 3
good
drives each.
offenses, and then just haven't been able to convert with, like, you would say the final shot, the final third of the field. They have not been able to convert. I think that is actually a perfect analogy for what we're seeing here today, but you really don't see football that's like that a lot.
Not
and I think that's part of that is the high school game of not being able to simply settle for a field goal where they do in college and the NFL. But I think that's what is making this game so exciting, is that you can have a huge drive and then not capitalize, and then this game is still really, really close.
Right.
And so it has been super exciting, worthy of that Game of the Week title.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you're able to enjoy it, even though it is not an offensive slugfest. I think you can hopefully appreciate that you're still seeing some really good football here on Varsity Sports Live. We will take another break here on our Jeans Heartland Foods halftime show, but keep it here.
Number one, obviously, is safety. We definitely call 811 to find out if there are any buried lines, fiber optic, whether it be telephone or pipeline or anything. Don't take a chance. Don't think you know and say, well, I don't remember anything being put in there. Call 811 and make sure that that's identified, that there isn't something there before you make that crossing. Because in the end, we want everybody going home.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com. Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Back here in halftime, about a minute left until second half gets going. We'll go ahead and give you our presenting sponsor here on this Game of the Week broadcast. We are presented by Kansas Insurance. They They believe in taking time to issue personal care and attention to each individual client. To see how Kansas Insurance can help you protect what matters most, call 913-369-6600. You can see on your field there, on your screen there, the Cardinals entering the field here as this halftime break comes near its conclusion. Ready for those Cards to get back out there on the field. They will begin on defense, or at least will begin with kicking the ball off to the Broncos. You never know what will happen after that, of course.
Right.
But Broncos should be receiving the opening kick, and we will see what happens after that. It could be, I don't know, there's going to be something big. I could just feel it in this game that we have not seen everything that's going to happen. I feel like there's going to be that big turnover, and there's going to be a big touchdown play. We've seen the Cardinals with those two big plays, which we knew we would see big plays here today, but neither one of them, both of them were taking the Cardinals from literally the goal line to the 50, where when are we going to see that play from the 50 to the end zone? I feel like it's going to happen here, that somebody is going to break free and finish it off and get a huge score in this game. And of course, I've talked about that. There's going to be a turnover, I'm almost sure. The sun has fully gone away here at this point, as it is still a cool 82 degrees here. Might even be a little bit cooler than that out here. Says the real feel is 84 though, so has not really let up for the players out there under the Friday night lights.
The real feel? You sound so professional.
Yeah. Well, they've thrown 3 more minutes up on the clock because the teams were a little late getting out of their respective halftime talks. So we will go ahead and go to one last break here, but when we're back, it is second half kick.
The Burt Nash Center has been serving Douglas County since 1950. We offer a wide range of behavioral health services for youth and their families, including individual, family, and group therapy, parent support, case management, and medication services. Reaching out can be a difficult step, but it's a crucial first step. Contact us at 785-843-9192 or visit our website at burtnash.org. Our team is here for your team.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time-tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with our delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Eudora Parks and Recreation is committed to creating community through parks, people, and programs. Their goal is to provide recreational opportunities for the community of Eudora that will enhance and promote a healthy lifestyle for all ages. The Eudora Parks and Recreation Department gives Eudora residents and others from surrounding communities the opportunity for family-oriented activities. Visit their website at eudoraparksandrec.org to view their youth and adult programs, leagues, memberships, facilities, activity guides, and more, and follow them on all social media at Eudora Parks and Rec.
Mason, number 16.
All right, halftime officially over. Cardinals preparing to kick off. It's going to be Moody to kick.
Eudora, number 22, Grayson Moody. Everybody up!
And here is the kick by Moody going to the left side, and a whistle will blow. Flags thrown. It's going to be an offsides on the Cardinals. You have to just assume by the position of the flag. Make sure to zoom on the ref. when he calls it. So a procedural error here early for the Cards, as early as could be in the second half. They haven't made an announcement, but you can tell that the Cardinals are backing up 5 yards, so must have been offside just by the position of the flag. It was thrown right on the 40-yard line there on your screen. So somebody must have gone too early, left before Moody had kicked, so the Cardinals now kicking off 5 yards deeper. And back to return for them is Benny Reagan.
Everybody up!
And here we go again, a little bit of a shorter kick by Moody. Bounces at the 25. This ball was temporarily loose, but ends up getting gathered. Still going here is the Broncos returner. He's still on his feet. And finally, Newt Schreiner and co. will bring a stop to Clayton Valerie's energetic return and begin for this beginning of this third quarter. They credit Hubler in on that tackle. So Hubler and Schreiner got it done.
I know I'm not the only one in this building who's excited to see what this second half holds, but I'm really, really looking forward to what kind of Broncos offense we see here to start out. I'm really curious to see if they try to come out and go aggressive, extend that lead, or if they come out a little bit safer, a little more methodical. And, of course, what the Cardinals' defense has in store to try to defend that as well.
You said, and of course. I'll say, and of course, 3 wide for the Broncos. Actually make it 4 wide. It's just Miller in the backfield, taking the snap, looking to throw, goes to the player that was initially his running back, going to the left. He's got a first down and more. He's past the 50 into Cardinals territory and brought down by Colton Bowser at the 33. That was Wyatt Gatlin, who was set up as a running back initially, popped out wide, which sort of caught the Cardinals D napping, and he took that screenplay for a huge gain.
And just like that, the field's flipped. Right now the Broncos are knocking right on the door of entering the red zone. Your entire game plan changes after a play like that. You might have a scripted set of early plays when you're on your side of the field, and now that goes out the window just a little bit. You still want to keep tempo to start out, but a little bit different strategy here.
Definitely a huge momentum boost for the Broncos. It's been all Broncos here since the halftime break, and it's going to continue to be all Broncos. Stump lost the ball. Did he fall right back on it? He did.
Braden Van Donk certainly frustrated.
Yeah, it wasn't just a fumble. Sometimes the ball is bouncing around. That one was sitting on the ground like it was a pillow. It was asking anybody to come by and pick it up. And Stump fell right back on it, so he gets to maintain that huge gain. As the Broncos keep driving here. Back for Stump. Stump puts his head down, and he will get maybe 2. A Broncos player down. Thought it might have been an injury, but seems like
looks like they're back up.
All right, that was Gage Winggerter, the senior left tackle.
And it just puts the Cardinals defense in such a tricky spot because you're a little more on your toes. You have a little bit less wiggle room when you're already down, and this offense is starting to move the ball.
Good time for a turnover.
Great time for a turnover.
Miller looking left, is going to try and tuck this one, and will extend that one as he goes out for maybe a gain of 2.
And you're not looking for nothing right there. I mean, we've already seen a fumble. May not have been a lost fumble. We've already seen those hints of what you said. Just felt like something big is brewing. It feels like that turnover is just waiting to happen. Almost not a matter of if, a matter of when and who will capitalize on it.
I said Sylvie Janovic was in on that last tackle. Some personnel changes for the Broncos as they prepare for this 3rd and 9. Big spot here early on in this third quarter. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Miller looking right. He's going to throw for Gatlin, and Gatlin brings it in. What a catch there, but a nice tackle by Bowser as well.
Colton Bowser feels like he's been all over the place tonight making tackles, doesn't he? I feel like we've heard his name many a times this evening.
Yeah. PA just announced the name Mason Dotson as number 15, so not Wyatt Gatlin, which is who I have on my roster. Mason Dotson brought that one in, and it is going to be 4th and 6, a crucial stop from Bowser. Means that the Broncos will now go for a field goal from the right foot of Ryan Jackson. A 33-yarder up left, might be wide left, it is. So no good, a second missed field goal we've seen here today. Jackson, no good there from 33, and the Cardinals take over. In the end, that functions as a defensive stand.
Absolutely.
Eudora take over, first and 10 at their own 20.
Bougie schools up in Joco don't do that. This is how I grew up.
So the Cardinals offense here, their first chance in this third quarter after a huge stand from their defense. We continue to see that theme go on. Defense is making very crucial stops after the offense gets going. Cardinals will look to find that final product here on this drive.
Comes down to the execution.
An early handoff here. Moody was hugged almost immediately and brought down.
And it's certainly not like on either side here, although the Broncos have scored, it's not that the offenses aren't doing well. We've talked about this plenty, where the offenses are moving the ball very, very well, seeming to do all the right things until they hit about the opposing 30, 35-yard line, and then these drives just start to stall out. So for the Cardinals, it's not even necessarily, of course, you still want to start the drive well, start it off smooth, execute well early, but it really feels like it's going to come down to who can execute well the closer you get to that end zone.
Cardinals are going to re-huddle here after they had broken the huddle, and now a timeout is going to be taken. Or maybe not. The referee, I'm not sure what happened there. Something went on. Cardinals huddled twice, and they are now prepared to go here on this 2nd and 8 play. Jarrett on the left. Hendrickson in motion. The toss for Moody. That's actually Keelan Duncan back in there, the freshman. Duncan maybe got one before he was thrown to the ground.
Certainly not an ideal start for the Cards here. Broncos putting themselves in a pretty good spot, looking at 3rd down and medium.
Yeah, it's third and longer than you'd like for sure.
Right. Convertible, absolutely, but
and
not where you want to be as an offense.
Also in a bad spot on the field to turn the ball over. In the backfield. Looks like that might be Duncan once again. It's going to be Watson rolling to his right, looking to throw for Jarrett. Jarrett's behind the defense. He's past the 50. Could he go? Jarrett's gone. Touchdown for the Cardinals. I'll say before he even gets there, Christian Jarrett is in the end zone. There's your big play.
Man, we were just waiting, right? And I almost...
Jarrett getting sturdy in the end zone there. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, my goodness. It almost, I mean, as soon as I saw him look to his right and bring his eyes upfield, I wanted to say right before the play, you need to throw this ball. I don't want to make it sound dire because, of course, we're only in the 3rd quarter. But that 3rd down felt massive. That 3rd down felt crucial. That 3rd down felt instrumental for the Cardinals here. Desperately needed some kind of spark, some kind of momentum. And I guess the easiest way to avoid that stall the closer you get to the end zone is just to go straight to the end zone from your own side.
This looks like there was an injury for the Broncos during that play. But we have finally seen exactly what I said in that halftime break, that we need that big play that's a touchdown, not just a huge play, which then in between the time I said that and now, it seems like this injury could be pretty serious here. The game coming to a halt here. We'll take a break right after the end of this thought, but just the Broncos even had a big play of their own. It was actually the referee that was down here, and the referee is going to limp off the field here. That might have some interesting effects on this game. They might need to find someone to fill in for him. So he's talking with the Spring Hill trainer. You can show it, Hayden, if you want. The referee walking off here. It's a bit of a limp there. I'm not sure how much of a halt that will bring to the game here.
Was he hit? I'm trying to figure out. Must have missed something. May have been run into. May have been a collision right there.
Yeah, it was a long play, and so you got to try and keep up with Christian Jarrett, which if the
not easy to do.
Broncos defense can't do it, not surprised. The referee couldn't either. And now another referee, the white hat, grabbing a drink as Steinlage prepares to try to tie this ball game. This is a big kick here.
Number 99.
Make sure you get the uprights in the shot.
Yep.
Get the uprights in the shot. Yeah. Good.
Little movement.
Ball is down, and it is going to be another low kick off the foot of Steinlage. So the Broncos will maintain their lead. Steinlage has not been able to get the ball high enough off the ground here so far. And it'll be 7-6. What's happening here?
Players returning over towards the line of scrimmage, having a conversation with the refs.
I did sort of seem to I felt like there wasn't really a whistle to go. The players might have just felt like it was time
Well, and there also looked to be a little movement on the Broncos side, too. I never saw a call for it, but...
Yeah, so we were still in official timeout. So that was a mulligan for Nate Steinlage. Now he knows what not to do. Hopefully he can lift this one higher off the ground. Here he is, the senior. Drills it right through. Does much better with his second chance. And it is a tie ball game here. Following a huge play, Christian Jarrett, 77 yards for 7 points. And this game is locked at 7s. 8:23 left here in the third quarter. What a phenomenal play. Cardinals hitting the jackpot.
Absolutely.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Game of the week is finally starting to look like that, living up to that name.
Living to the billing.
Yep. A huge touchdown to Christian Jarrett. It was very cramped on that touchdown play for Watson when he rolled right. He had almost no space, no time, and it forced him to get the ball out early, and Jarrett, just as fast, had gotten in behind the Spring Hill defense, and the second he had that ball, he was gone. This one going to be caught deep around the 5-yard line and down to the 25 for Clayton Valerie.
And I think it doesn't seem like much right now. Of course, we saw the whole sequence play out live after that touchdown. There's a decent chance that come later in this game, we will view that sort of mulligan that the Cardinals got on that extra point as a vital, vital turning point in this game.
I marked that down in my notes, too.
Yes, a point off the board can matter so much when these games. I mean, points off the board matter at any time.
That would have been having to go for 2 next time.
Right.
Yes, no, it's huge.
Points off the board matter at any time, especially when a game is this close with 2 teams that are this competitive. So we may very well look at that later in the game. If this ends up being, say, a field goal game, a close touchdown game, that 1 point can dictate playing styles for both teams.
And the referee is still working with the trainer, so that also will have an effect on this game. One less referee out there, one less set of eyes. Stumpf getting brought down, maybe a pick of a 1 or 2.
And it feels like this Cardinals defense may have just a little bit more pep to them now, right?
I'm sure the whole team, the whole fan support, the cheerleaders, everybody here, how could you not after you watch your team go 77 yards for a touchdown on a third down play, by the way.
Third and long.
Huge there for the Cardinals. In every way, it was a massive play. Here is a handoff going left, and a flag will come in as Hank Kochaver is brought down after maybe 3 or 4.
Kochaver was turned just about upside down on that tackle as well. Not sure if that was Schreiner or somebody else on the Cardinals defense who brought him down.
The flag came in before the tackle had been made.
Over on that side of the field, though.
Yeah, the far side, it could be holding on the offensive line or something against the Cards D.
Looks to be a signal from that referee towards the Broncos side. We'll await the call.
On the offense. Yep, the whole,
holding on the offense, he says. So Spring Hill will have to back it up, and a couple-yard gain for Hank Kochaver is negated. That puts them in the dread zone.
I was waiting on it.
Cardinals in a good spot. Could you imagine a turnover here?
Man, and
could the Cardinals grab the momentum and the lead that quick?
How quickly would that turn the game over, right? Yeah. You're looking at the Broncos trying to not put the game away at all, but just keep their foot on the neck of the Cardinals.
I'm looking at the receiving matchup on this near side of the field. It's Cy Thomas in coverage against Ryan Jackson. Far, far away from everybody else on an island. And Cy Thomas hoping to put his opposing receiver on an island. Miller looking to that side of the field, and this one will fall incomplete after hitting off of the hands of Mason Dotson.
And Jackson's wreaked some havoc on this game so far. That is a very important matchup for the Cardinals defense, especially isolated one-on-one over on that near side. Last thing you want to do is let Jackson take this game over, and we'll see a substitution. Looks like the number 10 for the Cards walking on over to that near side to match up. Christian Jarrett.
Yep. CJ now coming in. It's actually Brady Coltharp.
You think CJ's a little tired or what?
Well, I think they gave him his break. That might have been why he just finally checked in here. because he's so important to the defense. Miller looking to throw again. He's going for a big play over the middle. Hubler's there. Hubler much more near to that one than the receiver, Ryan Jackson, could have been. Said huge turnover. And it will be a 3 and out for the Broncos, forced by the Cardinals. Absolutely, that momentum meter is all red for the Cardinals here.
Well, and just
red
from a coaching from a coaching perspective as well, it just means a lot for your play calling on defense that you're able to stop that passing attack, right? You're not letting the Broncos just throw all over you. That affects how the defense is called. That affects how the defense plays it. That affects the morale on the sideline while the Broncos are driving.
I think, I'm not sure, looking at it, this could be the Broncos' first punt of the season here.
It is. I have it marked on my drives. They had not punted yet.
A flag will come in. Might have been delay of game. It is. Zoom on the white, though.
He doesn't even know where.
Delay of game on the offense.
Indeed, it is delay of game, so their punter will get even closer.
He said, pick me up.
Can you zoom on the punter? I want to see who it is.
Yeah, I got you.
61. So their punter is Carson Royal. 6'2", 250, the senior.
Wearing that royal purple.
Yeah. Here for his first punt. It's a high snap. Royal brings it down and gets a nice kickoff, but it won't go past the 50. It may bounce past the 50, though, and it will just barely downed right at the 51 there by Bo Gardner. So the Cardinals all getting all the momentum here so far, going very well for them here in this third quarter, as they are about to get going on their second drive here, following a huge touchdown drive. I don't know if you can even really call it a drive. It was two plays, and it was two jabs and then the knockout punch is what it was.
The two jabs to feel out the defense, feel out the opponent a little bit, and then the...
And they actually spotted at the 49, which means the Cardinals are in plus territory to begin the drive here today.
And like we said, you can have the momentum all day, but capitalizing is going to be crucial for this Cards offense.
Van Dong motioned. I think the give is Hendrickson. It is. Hendrickson still on his feet. And in the end, going to be a loss of 4 or 5. So they are out of plus territory. Second carry to Hendrickson. Neither one, unfortunately, has gone very far for him.
And again, it just feels like a tug of war when it comes to momentum, where one side, regardless of which end it is, you'll have one team make a positive play, get just a little bit of momentum, a little bit of spark. And then in many cases tonight, literally on the next play, you see an equally explosive play from the opposing team.
And we complimented the Cardinals on stopping first down runs and making them losses. And that's what the Broncos did right here. So the Cardinals getting a taste of their own medicine. Van Dong in motion, give to Moody. And before Moody could even take the ball out of Watson's hands, he was being tackled there. Let's give credit to the tackler there. It was Cade Myers. My goodness, he was there quick. It's like he started in the backfield.
Started in the backfield. You back them up. And now it's 3rd down and 12. Watson returning from the sideline after a conversation with Coach Steffen.
He says, okay, yes, 3rd and 12. For a moment there, the scoreboard said 3rd and 49. I was thinking I might have missed something. 3rd and 12 here. So the Cardinals will be looking to throw here. And before that can happen, a flag. And considering they stopped the play, it'll probably be on the Cards. Zoom to the white hat.
Good ball. False start on the offense.
So there is that dreaded false start. It was a real problem week 1. It happened once week 2, and their perfect game in terms of false starts ends here. I guess there was also the one on the kickoff, which does, in a way, count as a false start as well. Regardless, 3rd and 12 becomes 3rd and 17. So the Cardinals, you have to imagine, will be looking to pass here. They've got CJ and Van Dong out wide. Van Dong looked like he false started to me. I mean, sorry, I should have called the play there. It was a big throw towards Van Dong, but that was the most obvious false start I've ever seen, and it was not flagged for Van Dong, who was the intended target. Couldn't get there on Watson's throw. I just was so sure that they were going to throw a flag. Right. I should have called the play. My bad. But it was now 4th and 17, so they will bring out Steinlage to punt. So a 3 and out for the by the Cardinals initially, and then I think you have to say an even stronger 3 and out by the Broncos, because they took away, they backed up the Cardinals 7 further yards on their 3 plays. Steinlage here to punt. Some players getting in close, and thankfully he hit that one high, which means that it got away, and it will bounce right out of bounds at the 25-yard line. We'll take a quick break here and be right back.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with our delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Last Sunday was the Chiefs Latino Heritage Month game, and Eudora's own Sylvester Janovec was honored at halftime because he was among the NFL Latino Youth Honors recipients, an award which is presented for academic and athletic excellence. And we've definitely seen that excellence out on the field here for the Cardinals this season, as he has been all over the place. The linebacker, number 50, that was the game against the Bengals last Sunday. He was among many to be honored with that award, but great to see the Eudora representation. And meanwhile, George Hagan making a huge play there with a first down carry, going for a loss.
Cardinals starting off the drive right.
It's their favorite way to start a defensive drive, is that tackle for loss as quick as possible.
And again, seeing what the Broncos did with it last drive, it just puts you in a tricky spot as a play caller when you go backwards on play number 1.
2nd and 11. Miller looking to throw left. He's got Jackson. Jackson against Hubler. Hubler eventually makes the tackle, but Jackson picks up 8 or 9.
I think it's also worth mentioning for the Cardinals defense, they've done a very, very good job all night long of just sound fundamental tackling. I think you mentioned that last Friday night, where there's nothing really a coach loves more than just seeing good sound tackling from their defensive players. The Cardinals haven't let much slip by. Even if you get a good catch, an explosive catch out of the Broncos, they're not making the first man miss very often.
Those curl plays have been deadly, which is why they'll go right back to it. Jackson going 3 or 4 yards, cutting back towards his quarterback, bringing it in. A nice immediate tackling by the Cardinals, but not able to stop them from getting a first down. First down we've seen in the last 3 drives.
Wow. A lot of defense to start off this second half, aside from that 77-yard touchdown by the Cards. Looking over the middle, defensive swat right there.
Reiner just went down, and he is maybe cramping.
Some panic right there. I believe that is a cramp on the right leg, it appears. Teammates helping him out.
That was interesting, the way that he went down.
And you might have seen it better than I did. I think Newt Schreiner actually had the deflection over the middle on that one as well. Miller took a shot over the middle of the field. Not sure where the intended target was at, but that ball was batted at the second level by the Cards defense.
Yeah, I was going to take a look back on the replay here because I don't think anything was
non-contact to me.
Yeah, which was always so much more scary. Yeah, he batted down the pass, and then Schreiner went down non-contact. Those are always the most scary of injuries whenever no one hits you, because sometimes it could mean something that's going to be taking you out for a long time. We'll take a break here as there is an injury timeout for Newt Schreiner.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community, with all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve. Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be.
Schreiner back on his feet here. He's got a hobble there, and yeah, that right leg is not feeling great for him.
We're hoping it's a cramp. All the best over to Newt Schreiner, hoping it's nothing severe here.
Yeah, but it could be the end of the day for Newt Schreiner, which means they'll have to get someone out there in the secondary, and the linebacker, he plays all over the place and has been really good for the Cards. You already mentioned his pick that he had last week. So number 15 taken out here, at least for the moment.
I believe Colton Bowser came in, may have already been in the formation.
Looking left, Miller, and it will fall incomplete. I saw Bryce Mulvihill read that one really well. He could have nearly taken that one, and if he had, he would have. It would have been a foot race between him and Miller.
He would have been gone.
Yeah.
I can't tell if he got his hands on it. That may have just been dropped by the receiver, but there's a chance Mulvihill got his hands on that one. He did certainly get in the way, cloud that throwing lane just a little bit.
So now it's 3rd and 10. Big play here for the Broncos and the Cardinals. 3 wide. Miller going to the right. He's got Kirkner. He's going to throw here for Dotson, and Dotson does catch the ball, but did not get anything in bounds. Mason Dotson has been highly involved here in this game, but he did not get anything in bounds. I don't think it would have been possible for him to. The option was stay in bounds or try and at least actually catch the football. He went to grab the ball.
Went with option B.
Yeah, but couldn't actually get anything in, so 4th and 10.
Props to him for a heck of a catch, though.
Yep.
Not in bounds, not ruled a catch.
3 and out, but I guess it's a 6 and out or maybe a 7 and out for the Cardinals defense here as they force the second punt of the Broncos season. Royal hits this one really high up. Doesn't go as far downfield as it does high in the sky. It'll bounce around and it will come to rest at the 30-yard line, which is where the Cardinals' next drive will begin.
Ball's down at the Eudora 30.
And a good showing from the Cards defense so far. Of course, this has been I don't know how you could have a much more defensive half than the first half was, but there was a lot of really good defense being played early on here. A lot more 3-and-outs and stops than we were seeing early on. Because at least in those initial possessions, the offenses would move 10, 20 yards and then start to stall. So far in the second half, it's either a big play or it's nothing.
So they are setting up here. We haven't seen so much of the passing game, except, of course, the gigantic touchdown for Jarrett. And this one's going to be a handoff for Moody, and Moody will get 2 or 3 before going down.
Starting off positive, that's what you need. And I'll give credit. I said it at the halftime show that I thought the Cardinals were lacking through the air and needed to be better at it. And when they've needed to be, they have certainly been better through the air, mostly over to those sidelines. But credit to them. They've been able to pass when needed, been able to make those do-or-die plays happen when they need them the most. And if running the ball is consistently getting you 3 to 4 yards, there's no reason to change it on those early downs.
Yeah, I would love to see Moody break free. He got that 50-yarder earlier. I'd love to see him go all the way in the same way that Jarrett did. There's 2 wide on the right, Van Dong and White. Watson keeps it, but didn't seem very sure of what he wanted to do with it next. Ended up just tucking it and ducking, going down for a loss there on that 2nd and 7 play.
I think the Broncos are making those run plays very, very hard, especially on the read options. It seems like every time Connor Watson's kept the ball on a run play today, he just looks confused and dazed as soon as he gets the ball. Those running lanes are being clogged up immediately by this Broncos front 7, doing a great job. Certainly realized the read option was a strength of the Cardinals to this point and wanted to limit it as much as possible, which they have done.
Cardinals scored really early in this third quarter with the huge play. Looking to try and reproduce some of that magic here on 3rd and 11. It was a 3rd down play last time. It's going to be for White this time, and White brings it in! The Cardinals do find that same magic. 3rd and long in their own territory, and again a huge play. This time, it's Preston White.
And what a throw from Connor Watson. Stepping back, rolling to his left, looking upfield, delivered an absolute dime to the perfect spot on the field where only White could get it. And even more credit to White for adjusting to that ball in the air perfectly.
It's rare that you see it work out for a receiver when they completely turn their body to the ball, but he knew exactly what he was doing, controlled his body well, brought it in perfectly, and was even able to still make further gains downfield,
Stayed
which
on
is
his
really
feet.
impressive.
Yes, elite ball control and balance.
So now 1st and 10, the 29. Watson has it, going to be chased down, and he's still up, and he will turn it into a gain of a few.
And that was the most success they've had with Connor Watson thus far on the night. Certainly looking to keep that Broncos defense on their toes a bit, keep them worn out just a little as we creep up on the final 2 minutes of this third quarter. The Cardinals stretching out the playbook a little bit here. They've certainly got options as we're looking at 2nd down and short, nearing the red zone.
Yeah, you're right. We really have not seen Watson be able to break free, and I think it's just because they know what he's capable of, and so I'm sure they prepared for it all week long. They're not interested in letting themselves get beat by the feet of Watson. Watson gives this one. It's out. They gave it to Moody, and Moody fumbled, and the Broncos fall on it.
Wow. Like we said, those momentum flips have been so quick and so stark. One side gets a little bit of momentum, and just as quickly as they get it, the opposition, in this case the Spring Hill Broncos, snuffed it out and killed it immediately.
I called out in pregame the large amount of forced fumbles. The Broncos have done a lot of that this season already, and they do it again here, forcing the fumble on Moody. I said we would see a turnover and that it would feel big. We know when we see it. Does this feel like that big turnover, Hayden?
I don't know if I'd call it the big turnover.
Right.
I think we certainly could be looking at more of them.
Yeah,
But
it is a huge moment though, because the Cardinals just had such a big play there to White, and then they were of course hoping to finish this drive off with some sort of points.
Could be a 14-point swing right here if the Broncos can capitalize. Yeah, we could certainly look back at that as the play of this second half. We said it would come at some point in the second half.
Miller gives this one, and not going to go anywhere.
Stumpf is met right at the line of scrimmage, went backwards right there.
On the carry, number 27, Patrick
It was Brady Van Holten in on the stop.
Tackle made by number 72, Leland Bradshaw.
They also credit Leland Bradshaw. So another 1st and 10 tackle for loss by the Cardinals D. As this third quarter comes near its conclusion, a give for Stumpf. Stumpf goes left, does not get far, but he does get a few. It'll be 3rd and 8.
And this Cardinals,
another Cardinals player down here.
Getting them checked on out. The medical staff is over there. Looks like leg is elevated once again. It's a left leg.
Could be a cramp here. Is that Kevin Hendrickson out there? Looks like it may be. We will go ahead and take a short break here for this Cardinals injury timeout.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
It was Elijah Klobes that was the player down, not Kevin Hendrickson, 33 rather than 13. Hayden, as you see, was he able to get off the field well?
He was able to get off the field. Looks like he walked off under his own power. I believe he's over there near the right side right now. But we always love to see a player walk off under their own power after what looks like a scary injury.
So now with 33 seconds left, clock starts to run. Same three-wide formation we've seen almost all day long for these Broncos. Miller and Stumpf are the backs. Miller looking to throw, looking right. He's got Dotson and Kirkner, and he is hit as he throws. That one will fall incomplete.
And he actually had a man downfield right there.
Miller is down. Also worth noting, I see Newt Schreiner back out there. That's a very positive sign.
Yes.
Because we were worried he might have had his day or worse done with that injury.
Back out after one drive.
Yeah, Miller pops up, but definitely shaken up after that big hit there.
Nearing the end of the third quarter, looks like the punt team's going to come out on 4th down here for the Broncos. Yep. And that, I think Miller actually had a man downfield on that one. He was trying to direct traffic as he was rolling out to his right. Just hit on the throw, and maybe a blessing in disguise for the Cardinals right there that did fall incomplete, because that certainly could have been a big explosive play if he got it off.
And here is another punt by Royal. Again, more high than it is far, and this time it'll bounce backwards, and for some reason the Broncos players opting to watch it rather than stop it from going backwards. So it took a Cardinal bounce about 3 yards back. Cardinals will start at the 42. They have not had a great punt game, these Broncos.
Eudora takes over, 1st and 10.
It was, wanted to make sure I went back and got credit on the big hit on Miller. It was George Hagan that crushed the quarterback, shook him up a bit. So this Cardinals drive actually starts at the 44 in plus territory. 6 seconds left. This will be the last play of the third quarter. Watson gives it to Moody. Moody picks up 4 or 5. And that will be the Cardinals right at the 40-yard line will be where they will start when we begin this fourth quarter, as we are still deadlocked at 7s here. It has been that defensive dogfight for sure. And the team, both offenses are still looking for points here in this close matchup. 7-7. When we're back, it's the fourth quarter here on the Game of the Week.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become one in a million.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Get your fours up. It's the fourth quarter here at the 40-yard line, and Moody is upended on that second down carry. He took flight on that tackle, and it's now going to be 3rd and 5. He did still get a yard out of it.
And this is big. We're talking about between those 40-yard lines is oftentimes where you see a lot of teams like to get aggressive and try to take those shots, because especially at the high school level, your options just run a little bit thin, right? You start to get to the point where you're outside of field goal range, you're a little bit close to try to want to punt, and you know if you go for a 4th down and you don't quite make it, you're still putting your defense in a decent spot.
Zoom out. I was just highlighting that Watson was running over to the coach. This toss for Moody makes the first man miss with the spin move. He's still going, and he gets a good gain there.
On the carry, 22, Grayson Moody.
Moody had to fight for that one. Picks up 2 after being met 5 yards in the backfield.
4th down and
4th
3.
and 3, they say.
Connor Watson making a trip over to Coach Steffen to see what they want to do here. Gets the go-ahead. They're going to come back on out on the field. Looks like 4th down and about 3 will be the attempt for your Cardinals, pushing into Bronco territory.
The Cardinals are going to stay on the field. Moody is the back. Jarrett is the receiver. Van Dong in motion. They're going to give it to Moody. Moody fighting. It's going to be close. One referee looks like he might spot it for a first, and the other one looks like he might not. Depends on who gets the ball here to spot it down. The chain gang are moving, so that is a 1st down there for Moody. Just barely got that one. Must have been a matter of inches.
Not only a fantastic, I think, play call. I love that play call in that situation. You're tied up. The stakes aren't super high. You're not on your toes as much because you're not looking at a deficit. You're basically looking at a 0-0 ball game. But I also love the execution for the Cards right there to make a good play call and execute it well to grab
Jarrett
the
and
first.
Van Dong on the right side. Watson looks to throw. He's looking for Jarrett. Jarrett trying to work back to the ball. That's going to be pass interference. That one clear as day.
Push
Jarrett
to the ground.
Trying to get back to the ball. He might have been able to had he not been interfered with their clear pass interference, and the Cardinals will pick up 15 yards.
I believe that was Lucas Golston in the coverage. Just very tight coverage. That is the, as we start to dub it, especially in the pro leagues, you see it a lot, that classic underthrown deep ball where you figure if nothing else, my receiver can go make a play on it, but even if they can't, the ref, all that ref is going to see is that defensive back pushing against the receiver as they try to fight their way back to the ball.
We do get that pass interference call confirmed against the defense. Cardinals will pick up 15. A good play there. Jarrett, I think he would have been able to get back to the ball had he not been interfered there. It was, again, the same thing with Preston White's catch where he was having to work back to, which means it is a bit of an underthrow by Watson, but that worked perfectly for Preston White before. And I think that Jarrett would have had no problem making it work for him as well.
It's worked out favorably both times.
1st and 10 from the 18. Moody, the main back, Jarrett on the left. This time it's a give for Van Dong. Van Dong cut through the line there, found a hole, picked up 4, maybe 3.
Either way, positive plays are big here, and we're looking at under 10 minutes left to play here. It feels like a scoring drive is very much so needed, because if this Broncos offense comes out on their next drive and answers with a touchdown, now your Cardinals are looking at being down in the 4th quarter trying to make something happen. A score right here, a field goal would be helpful. A touchdown right here would just open things up so much for the Cardinals, both on offense and defense for the rest of this game.
Last year, this matchup was decided by a field goal, 31-28 for the Broncos.
Much higher scoring.
Fine margins in this matchup, and a flag will come in here.
Toss to Hendrickson, nullified right there by the whistle.
Make sure to zoom on the white.
Yep.
False start against the Cards. Not the first time here today they've been hit with that one. That same bug is coming back to get him a little bit here.
Just a killer for momentum, isn't it?
Yeah, it turns a 2nd and 8 into 2nd and 13, so essentially it functions as a big tackle for loss on that first down carry.
Watson heading on over to the sideline. Looks like Preston White checked himself out right there. Number 10 checked in. That's Christian Jarrett. Jarrett going to line up out wide.
The lone wide receiver. Broncos loading the box. Watson looking to throw. He's sacked. He fumbled, but Van Dong caught the fumble. Fortunate bounce there for the Cardinals, but it's still a huge play for the Broncos. A sack fumble fell right into the waiting arms of Van Dong, who's now a little shaken up, but he'll pop up now. A big play, though, for the Broncos.
And that pushed them well out of field goal range here as we're looking at a 3rd down. I didn't see who that was on the left side for the Broncos, but that left end linebacker came off so hot. It looked like Connor Watson never really had a chance. As soon as he hit the top of his drop, eyes starting to go upfield, he was leveled from behind.
It was number 6, Cohen Shuckman, that made the play, the 5'10", 190-pound senior linebacker.
Just absurd speed around the edge.
So now it's 3rd and 18. Cardinals have been good with these 3rd and longs.
Looks like another false start.
Before anything goes on, a timeout will be taken by the Cardinals offense. So we will go ahead and take. Actually, we could keep you here. Hayden, you want to talk about? So Cardinals have had 2 huge plays. The first one to Jarrett, second one to Preston White on 3rd down in this half.
Right.
It's 3rd and 18 in a much different spot on the field. Last time, both of the previous times, they were on their own 30.
Yes.
Now they're on their opponent's 30. How much will the previous 3rd downs factor into the play call here, or maybe it won't at all? What do you think the offense is thinking here on 3rd and 18? Are they looking at the field goal? Are they looking at the end zone? Just what do you think?
Well, first of all, I think it certainly factors in. I don't think a field goal would be in your early plans. I don't think that'd be your plan A or B if you could avoid it, because the special teams has looked.
It's getting late out here.
50-50.
Every point counts.
Every single point counts. I think if you can get points or especially get that 1st down, you try to before you resort to the field goal. But they've been so good on 3rd down. As strange as it is to say, I would almost say this Cardinals offense seems to feel better at 3rd and long than they feel on 3rd and short. The execution on those longer plays has just been phenomenal thus far for the Cardinals in this 2nd half. I'd expect to see a deeper pass from Watson here.
They've got 3 wide here. I don't think we've seen that before today. So it is going to be a throwing attempt, but it was a bad snap. So Watson tucks it, he fumbles again. Ball is out, and thankfully for the Cardinals, an offensive lineman falls on it. I'll be sure to get you his name in a second. He's a little banged up. Number 59, that's Austin Jordan, the sophomore who is starting on the left in the left guard position with a crucial fumble recovery. It was a bad snap, and then what was supposed to be a throw to the strong side with 3 receivers ended up turning into Watson desperately scrambling to make something out of it, and that turned into another forced fumble. Not the first time the Broncos have done that to the Cards, and then Austin Jordan, thankfully for the Cardinals, is able to fall on that and bail them out of what would have been just a bad spot to lose the ball. They still have to give it back to the Broncos.
Let's pay attention to how great the pass rush was as well.
Punt, and it will be fair caught at the 15. Another time Steinlage makes the Broncos have to fair catch the punt.
And
so
let's
they'll start in the dread zone.
Pay attention just a little bit to how effective that pass rush was for the Broncos on those later downs. We hadn't really seen a whole lot of trenches getting into the backfield outside of those run plays. On the pass plays, for the most part, all day long, both quarterbacks have had a relatively clean platform to throw from. But on those last couple of plays, it's almost as if the Broncos were able to just pin their ears back and rush freely on those 3rd and longs. Obviously, no threat of running the ball. They knew a pass was coming. They were able to prepare for it. But just phenomenal front 7 work and really front 4, those edge rushers for the Broncos.
Cardinals definitely need to avoid the big play here. It's been their offense in this situation that's produced multiple big plays to get them out of tough spots, as they are currently in the dread zone, but not for long. Bowser makes a tackle. A flag comes in on the tackle, though. Maybe there could be something with him lowering his head. I'm not sure. The flag came in right as Bowser made contact with the running back. White hat. Referee's talking here, figuring out what the flag is for. And it's holding on the Broncos. Big there. So they will be backed up further. That'll be half the distance, as they are even deeper now in the dread zone. Big positive there for the Broncos.
Jordan Miller may actually be standing in his end zone if he were to drop back and try to pass from here. A pretty good spot for the Cardinals defense to be in. And we're entering those later minutes late enough in the game where you start reaching deeper in your bag, right? Deeper in your playbook to try to find any extra little bit you can.
This time too wide for the Broncos. They will still throw, and tight coverage over there by Cy Thomas. Immediately wrapped up Jackson and brought him down. Actually, it's Kirkner.
Number 85.
Cy Thomas with great coverage there, perfectly timing to make sure he didn't commit pass interference, wrapping up well and bringing him down.
And how evenly balanced has this receiving core been for the Broncos thus far? You've had Kirkner making plays, Jackson making plays.
Mason Dotson just checked in. He's made some plays as well. And Miller looking to throw. Behind Cy Thomas is Kirkner. And oh no.
He wanted a flag. He got it.
I don't know if Thomas needed to do that.
I don't think he did.
Kirkner was in behind, but I don't think he was going to get to the ball. So Thomas just pulled on the jersey, which coaches will tell you to do that. If you got beat, we'll take a 15-yard penalty rather than a touchdown.
Right.
But I don't think he needed to.
I don't think it would have been a touchdown.
I think that that was an overthrow from Miller, but it'll be 15 yards. So just after a fortunate penalty for the Cardinals, now an unfortunate penalty there. Fortunate for the Broncos. They get out of the dread zone. It's back to first down with 6:45 left. And in this tie game, everything is so big now. The importance of every play highly elevated because it's going to be a little break here that could decide this game. 1st and 10 again. Miller looking to throw. He wants another big play. It's Kirkner again, and it's again overthrown. Kirkner had beat the defense. I talked exactly about this. I don't know if we did it on air or if it was just to you, but the Cardinals are vulnerable to the big play. They absolutely are. We've seen this on multiple times. Exactly what we just saw, and we've got another injury timeout. Des Hubler, that would be a big loss. It looks like it might just be a cramp, though, hopefully. But the Cardinals, in these first two games, have had multiple times where exactly what just happened has played out. The defense got burned, but the quarterback throw was inaccurate, either underthrown or overthrown. And I know, we know from the scouting report that Spring Hill loved the big play. And I figured with Kirkner and Jackson that they might be able to create those big plays. And on that occasion, Kirkner absolutely burned the defense. It was Cy Thomas who had just made a great play, or then also just committed a penalty. But he got beat there, and Miller overthrew him. Hubler
to his feet.
Going to have to hobble off the field here, and they won't let him keep his helmet, which is always a little scary. But he is walking off under his own power. Maybe just a cramp. We'll see.
Appears to be favoring
if number
the
20
good
will
leg
come
just
back
a little
in.
bit. Certainly scary to see a player go down with a non-contact injury of any kind, but it's always promising to see them walk off under their own power, be able to get up and walk off the field.
Coach Steffen said that he knows they will throw multiple fade routes to Kirkner over the course of the game. He said 4 or 5. We've seen 2 in the last 2 plays.
Plenty of time for more.
2nd and 10, 6:40 left in the game, tied up at 7. A handoff here for Stumpf. Stumpf doesn't get very far.
Fooled me. I saw an offensive lineman fall forward right there and thought it was actually Stumpf falling forward. Just shows you the kind of effort and push being applied in the trenches between both sides right here.
I say Brady Van Holten was in on the stop there, a big stop, which makes it 3rd and 10.
As head coach of our coming out, looks like.
Yeah, Mason Dotson comes back in.
Dotson coming in.
Haven't seen him get involved lately, but he was giving the Cardinals fits earlier. He's out there in the slot. Part of the 2 wide on the right. There's 1 on the left as well. Miller will look left. He's now going to step up in the pocket and fire left. Cy Thomas over there in defense. And it just over the head of Harrison Rivers. Cy Thomas doing well to keep in the face of Rivers, the senior receiver, 6 foot 145. Again, Miller overthrowing. He's got a cannon there, and he's showing it off. And I guess the Cardinals not going to be complaining if you want to keep overthrowing your receivers, though the Cardinals would be fair to complain a little bit about their corners not being able to keep up with the receivers. When that's happening consistently, you've got to let off a little bit more, but that's just as I say that, I realize that's why the curls have been working all day. If you back off a little bit, they're going to run the shorter routes.
Yes.
Football is such a game of chess for offenses and defenses trying to fight for every
It's a
yard.
Pick your poison situation for sure. If you want to back way off, we'll just throw short routes and get you with yak. If
Another punt from Royal. These haven't been phenomenal. This one is probably his best here today, and it nearly went over the head of Christian Jarrett. Jarrett with some space to the right. Jarrett's going to get into plus territory. Still Jarrett at the 40. Still Jarrett at the 30, and he is brought down at the 26-yard line. Really good return by Christian Jarrett.
Energy from Jarrett right here as he returns over to that Cardinals sideline. What a field-flipping, momentum-flipping play for the Cardinals right here as we're looking at nearing 5 minutes left in the game, a tie ball game right here. Things like that, especially the later into the game you get, whether it's on special teams or defense. If the offense can capitalize, that's the kind of thing that sets your team up to be able to win these tough road games against good teams.
That was a 50-yard return by Jarrett. Third 50-yard play the Cardinals have had today. Second on special teams. It was Hubler with a nice kickoff return earlier in this one. Actually, yeah, it was a kickoff return, not a punt return. Cardinals with the same formation. Preston White is on the right. Hendricks and Van Dong are the sort of tight ends, you could say, and Moody is the main back. Watson under center, takes and gives to Moody. Moody with some space. Moody picks up 7 or 8.
Fantastic way to start the drive as well. Not quite moving the chains, but putting yourself in very good position to do it. Getting Moody rolling on the ground. Confidence boosters for your team, for your players right here can be big as well. Trying to get everyone involved.
Within striking distance.
And now this execution is just massive, right? You're close to the red zone. You've set yourself up well. This is where you really can't afford to later in the game look back and say, we had all these red zone opportunities, all these great field position drives set up by our defense, just weren't quite able to capitalize.
With time running out, too, in this game, just about 5 minutes left. Huge drive here for the Cards. Short field off the Jarrett return. Moody close to the first down. Looks like they will give it to him. Yes, they will. Moving the chains. So now as we go past 5 minutes, under 5 minutes to go, a third down conversion there by the Cardinals sets them up in a really good spot here. You almost fear scoring too quick. However,
I think you just need to take the points at this point.
In this game, teams have not been able to finish off really good drives, so I would say don't worry about that. Get into the end zone, take the lead here if we can do it. 1st and 10, 4.5 to go. Moody, the main back still. White out on the right. It's going to be a discombobulated handoff there. Moody nearly tackled Connor Watson there.
All I can say is thank goodness that was first down, a fresh set instead of a third down.
Also, thank goodness that whoever did end up technically going down with that run held on to the ball, because I don't know that they knew what was going on there. We've seen a couple times the miscommunication between Moody and Watson, which is inevitable with two people. Watson here in his first year as a starting quarterback and Moody in his second game as the starting running back.
For how young they are, you've got to give credit to how well they've been playing. Not the most cohesive unit at all times, but certainly doing a good job to this point in the year. And the ref will blow it dead.
They call a timeout. I seem to see Braden Van Dong not be happy with that timeout call. Either he was unhappy that the timeout was called or that the timeout had to be taken. I can't tell what the emotions are going through his mind. I did notice there was not a wide receiver out there on the field, so there could have been either a personnel mistake or something going on there. Whatever the case may be, Cardinals take a timeout. It means we stop the clock here at 3:43 left in this game. It's been the defensive dogfight we knew we would see, where the Broncos had to work so hard for that touchdown, and then the big play, which we talked about. We knew the big play. Honestly, I figured that big play was more likely to come for the players in purple.
Yep.
And yet it was Christian Jarrett who got in behind the defense with his second receiving touchdown of the year. 77 yards. He was gone. And that is where we are here in this game. And you mentioned also the second chance for Nate Steinlage being huge, because otherwise we'd be looking at a 7-6 score, which would completely change the feel of this game right now.
Yes, changes your play calling, changes your effort, changes your stress level. Everything is changed by that mere point, because right now this is effectively a 0-0 ball game.
So 2nd and 8, Preston White on the right, toss to Moody. Moody picking up a few and then going down right at the 11.
I believe it's going to be about 3rd down and 5 here.
Haven't seen Keelan Duncan in a while. When he did first get introduced against Bonner, it was in the red zone. They were giving him those red zone carries. We said he reminded us of Ezekiel Elliott, even wearing 21 out there, just getting those red zone carries, and he was strong. And almost every time he got it, it was a gain of 6 or 7. Don't know if we'll see the freshman get involved. Not that there's been anything wrong with Grayson Moody's performance here today, though.
3rd and 6 is the official ruling, so 3rd and medium, certainly not a short yardage 3rd down here in
White
the red zone.
on the right, 3rd and 6. Moody the back. Van Dong in motion. Watson wants to throw. He's looking to the end zone. That's going to be pass interference, clear as day. Preston White torn to the ground by Lucas Golston, and White comes up celebrating, knowing that he has just won a crucial penalty there and a crucial first down converted. Essentially, you can give the credit to Preston White because he had that touchdown otherwise, and Golston tearing him to the ground.
Pass interference on the defense.
We saw that one. Easy to call. It was Golston just went ahead and tackled him, which we talked about with Cy Thomas's play, other than the fact that it was an overthrow. Coaches will tell you to do that. If you got beat, don't give up the touchdown. Give up the whatever. Anything is better than giving up the touchdown. And so I don't think that Coach Feeback would be too upset with Golston for making that play. He would be more upset that he got beat. But once you get beat, don't let your team get beat too.
I think a general rule of thumb when you're looking for pass interference penalties, if you're following the ball and you get to the end zone and you can't see the target because they're lying on the ground, that usually does not bode great for your defense. But you're right, giving up a penalty and a free first is much better, infinitely better, than giving up the touchdown uncontested. At least this way the Broncos give themselves a shot.
Especially in this game. 7-7 right now, under 3 to go. Cardinals 1st and goal.
I don't think it'd be an overstatement to say that the margin of error is quite literally 0 for both teams right now.
Yeah, goal to go here from the 5.5. Now the referee's going to get together and talk real quick.
What do you do to grab 5 yards, right? What do you pull out of your bag if you're pick your poison, really?
Or, play action throw. Could be
those play action boots have worked very well all day.
Could be killer. But you'd also hate to have Watson take a hit, maybe fumble, throw a pick.
It's 3rd and 1. It would spring out 6.
Man, oh man, the stress is high in here. The tensions are high in this stadium.
I'm sure Stefan and his offensive coordinator are looking very carefully through the playbook, trying to find the right option here with 2:57 left on this goal to go from the 6. How will they proceed?
The drums are going. The crowd here at Spring Hill, Kansas, under the lights is awake as we approach 3rd down.
White on the left. Moody, the main back. Watson keeps and did not go anywhere. Spring Hill stood strong. Maybe got half a yard. Oh, that play was 3rd and 1.
I'm not sure what happened. We thought it was 1st down and goal to go.
Yes, we were saying goal to go. It was actually 3rd and 1, and on that occasion, Watson converted. It is now goal to go. That was a huge moment there, and we didn't even realize. That's our bad. But Watson with the pickup on the keeper. So now goal to go from the 5. Huge play there. It really was. We didn't even notice. Because that could have been the Cardinals having to go for a field goal and hoping Steinlage could keep it true. It's going to be a toss for Moody. Moody cut to his left,
fighting
down
for
after
yards.
He got 2.
And he's fighting for every single yard. You can feel the passion. You can feel the energy from every single skill position player, the quarterback, the trenches. Everybody on this Cardinals offense is desperate to get those last 3 yards.
I said, of course, they couldn't really concern themselves with it, but scoring too quick is always a worry in a game like this. You'd hate to give too much time left to your opponent. The Cardinals doing a great job eating up all the clock, and they are in a great spot here. Even if they do end up getting forced to a field goal, they've got the clock, don't worry. Even if they do get forced to a field goal, it has been a nice and slow drive here for the Cardinals after the amazing return by Jarrett set them up so well. This give to Moody will come up short, maybe a yard.
About a yard.
Pile of bodies in there. Grayson Moody being at the bottom.
Looks like we may have a down Cardinal. Nope, he's back up on his feet.
Watson now runs over to the sideline to get the play here for another big 3rd down here in the red zone. And time just keeps on running. The Broncos have all 3 timeouts and are not using them, which means they're betting on themselves, believing in their defense. It is always interesting when you see a head coach calling timeouts because they're anticipating getting scored on. What kind of signal does that send? But now, will the Cardinals use their final timeout here? Let's see. Yeah, they do use their final timeout. That is a big moment there to take their final timeout because that could be the difference between being able to set up a field goal or something of that sort if this drive does not result in a touchdown. But with 64 seconds left, they're in a pretty solid spot. But 3rd down and goal from the 4.
Man,
not
biggest
at
play
all,
of the game?
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Not at all a foregone conclusion, though.
No,
that they
not
score.
even close. Not even close.
Even the short field goal. I mentioned that Steinlage has not been, you don't feel 100%.
Inconsistent, yes.
Sure. And he missed that 30-yard kick earlier. He even.
Can he make it? Absolutely.
He even for a moment there missed a PAT, which would have totally changed the feel of everything going on right now. But instead, we are tied. It is 3rd and goal from the 3, actually.
Effectively 3rd down and 3 to try to put the game on ice here for the Cards.
And it'll be so fascinating to think if we get to 4th down, do you go for the end zone? Do you take the field goal? But hopefully we don't get there.
I don't want to even have to think about it, man.
The shack here is getting loud.
Student section is awake.
White on the right. Watson not under center.
Getting in the shotgun, lined up to his right is Moody.
Yep. And now they get the go-ahead from the referee. 3rd and 3, 3rd and goal. Moody takes the snap. Watson takes a snap, fakes to Moody, throws. It's picked. It's picked by Valerie. And Valerie opts to return it. He'll be tackled at the 1.
Oh, that was a bad decision from Valerie.
But we said, and now we have seen it, we said that there would be a turnover that is a huge moment, and you'd know it when you saw it. There it is. It is Valerie. Clayton Valerie, who's been all over the place on both sides of the ball, who has just saved the game. He may have forced overtime, but now, talk about dread zone. They're on the 1-yard line. He should not have tried to take that one out. Could have both conserved time and gotten a touchback. Now the Broncos in a horrible spot. Could we see a game end 9-7? That would be a first for me, but...
So what you've got to do if you're on the Broncos side right now...
Well, let's first think about
what
just happened for the Cardinals offense. That was... We were talking about potentially kicking the field goal, scoring the touchdown.
You can't turn it over in that situation.
That's really tough there. It was.
Yes.
I like the play call. I like the idea, but I think it wasn't there for Watson. And what you have to tell him is if it's not there, throw it away.
Right.
Get rid of it. Do not throw it away by throwing it to the other team, which is what he did. Instead, he opted to try and force it in there. And now the Broncos have the ball.
One safety up high for the Cards. Pressure coming.
Oh. Imagine, though, the Cardinals, if they could have had their stereotypical 1st and 10
negative
tackle
rush
for loss, would have been an amazing play there.
Oh, my goodness. The clock is running as well,
yes,
worth noting.
Cardinals with no timeouts. Broncos not going to be with any urgency here. They will be fine
playing for overtime.
This go to overtime with how backed up they are after the Valerie pick.
And the Cards defense trying to get aggressive, not too aggressive.
The give for Stumpf. And he gets out to the 6 or 7, so they no longer have to worry about their end zone.
That'll be it, I believe.
Let this one go all the way to overtime, which would be fitting for your game of the week.
What a night, Reed.
Yeah.
What a night.
It rolls on. We get paid more for this, right? If it goes to overtime?
We might be able to wrangle that.
BJ's down the hall. We'll try and convince
him. We can go ask him.
So the Broncos do indeed let the clock run out, and we will indeed go to a 5th quarter. $1:25 here at the Shack.
Game of the week, right?
Yeah, we are going to overtime, and you get more game in the game of the week. Go ahead and keep it here because there is more football here on Varsity Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community, with all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve. Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
All right, well, as we have the luxury of a mic'd up referee, we'll go ahead and let you watch the coin toss here, because this will be a big moment. And last time they then announced what was the result of the coin toss. So hopefully we get the same here. It's Watson out there for the Cardinals with Jordan Miller, Bo Gardner, Logan Alexander, and Hank Kochaver out there for the Broncos. Here is the coin toss. Decisions being made here. Potentially the game being decided. Broncos look like they're indicating a direction. That could be good news for the Cards. What do we got here from the white hat?
White one.
He said white one.
I believe that is a...
We'll go on defense.
So the Cardinals won the toss and elect
deferred.
to begin on defense.
So you'll have to fill me in. I don't
I
pay a whole lot of attention to the high school overtime
I have
rules.
to be honest with you, I am also a little unfamiliar with them.
Would a score end the game?
Here, how about you go real quick, ask the people in the room next to us. Seriously, I'll do camera for a sec.
I'll dart across.
Go ask. We'll see if they know. Doing some on-the-job research here for you. Trying to figure out the OT rules. Honestly, I assume some of you fans might know. I don't know if I've seen a Acacia overtime game before here on Eudora Sports Live. This game is going to be going on extra here. What do you got?
One possession at the end of that, if the score is uneven, whoever has more points at the end of the
Okay, so one possession each is the rules here. And if it's still tied, then you keep going. But if it's not after a possession each, then the game is over. So
even if they score, Cards are guaranteed to get the ball.
10-yard line. They give to Stumpf, and he is wrapped up by Cage Crable. Put him in a cage.
Put him in a cage. Yeah, interesting work right there for the Cards defense. The strategy definitely changes a little bit, because even if the Broncos do score, which of course you want to keep them as far away as possible from doing so, but if they do score, you still get the ball with a chance to go win the game after that.
If only they could have done what they just did there when they were backed up on the 1-yard line, but that's okay. Second and goal now from the 12.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, right?
Miller takes the snap, gives to Stumpf. Stumpf puts his head down.
He will get back the yards.
He'll regain what he lost and a little bit more. It'll be third and goal still from the 8. So there's not even a clock now here, as you can see on your screen. It's just all zeros.
Completely untimed.
Yeah. So in that way, it's like college, but then the rules that you tell me sound a little more like the NFL as well. So a nice combo of the two here.
I don't even want to call it overtime because we don't have any time. This is like sudden death.
Yeah. Extra football.
We'll never complain.
Third and goal from the 9. Big moment here in overtime. Stumpf in motion, and the Cardinals jump. Not sure. I don't think that will be an auto first, but it still is a big moment for the Broncos to take what, 3rd and 9. We'll get half the distance.
Repeat 3rd down, I believe. It'll be 3rd and 4 now, so yes, about half the distance. They're going to move it forward 3 yards.
So a defensive lapse there by the Cardinals. makes this a lot easier for the Broncos. They were going to pretty much have to pass it. Now they have their options, get to choose whatever they feel is working for them. Find their fastball, as Coach Feeback said. Miller will give to Stumpf, and Stumpf will get in. That penalty is huge. Stumpf gets through, and the Broncos with their second score of the day coming a long time after their first. It's 13-7 Broncos.
And truly, I don't think from 7 yards out, I don't think it would have mattered. Stumpf was completely untouched between the tackles right there.
Well, I don't know. I feel like they would have forced
maybe not run the
throw,
ball.
yeah, from longer out. But now a big moment still for Ryan Jackson. Hasn't missed a PAT all year. Can you do a commentator jinx on purpose?
I can do a commentator jinx on purpose. He never misses. He's fantastic. He never misses kicks. Most accurate about it. He would never miss, right?
And it's blocked! It is blocked! A huge moment there. The Cardinals could win the game if they could score and convert on the PAT. We've seen Steinlage's kicks be low a couple different times here today. That one didn't seem like it was too low of a kick.
No, had the height.
I wish we had the benefit of another camera angle and instant replay so we could give credit where it's due, but just give credit to the Cardinals defense getting a hand up.
Man.
And I'll make sure by the time next week that I talk to Coach Stefan about who blocked that one so we can give credit. A huge play.
I don't know how I should feel that we just announced or jinxed on purpose. I'm not sure how I should feel, but I feel pretty good.
It is still 13-7. So, here we are high-fiving and celebrating.
Yeah.
Broncos have a
far from over.
Big-time lead, a crucial lead, and it's not even a guarantee if the Cardinals were to score that they would make the PAT themselves. But
Four
they get to
chances.
start now, first and goal from the 10. Give to Moody. Moody puts his head down, runs into a wall, but he's still going to try and fight 1.5, maybe 2.
Might have gotten 2 yards right there. And you're right. I mean, that missed PAT is obviously massive, but this game is so far from over. 3 plays with this Cards offense that has truthfully been much better.
It's not so far from over. It's very close to over, actually. But
it's
but a huge moment. The Cardinals, they've left the door ajar.
Yes, and the Cards offense has truthfully been better from farther away. This red zone offense has been the struggle. 3 plays to go 8 yards.
Second and goal from the 8. Watson wants to throw. Throws to Jarrett. And a beautiful pass deflection there. Seriously well done. It looks like that was Valerie.
That was Valerie. A gorgeous pass deflection, all things considered. That ball was fairly well placed by Watson, maybe just a little bit off to the right side of what you would have liked to see. But now it's 3rd down and goal to go, 8 yards out.
I think it was actually Beck that made the play, which that's the freshman corner, Mikey Beck. That was somebody that both Coach Stefan and Coach Feeback called out in their interviews that they're starting a freshman at corner, but he actually looks really good. And he looked good right there, stopping the ball from getting to the X of Christian Jarrett, the X factor.
Maybe a false start right there.
I think
we saw celebration from the Broncos side, some heads being hung on the Cardinals side.
I think that maybe just a timeout was taken.
Still showing 3 timeouts on the board for the Broncos. We'll await the
is there
await
an
a
injury?
little more info, maybe.
Yes, there was an injury in the end zone. It was Beck. I saw him come up after he made the play. He's come up a little ginger, Mikey Beck. So that is that same freshman corner I was just talking about. Both coaches highlighted him as being young but really good, and he had just shown that on that play. And now will come off the field with a trainer helping. Actually, no, he'll turn
Walk
back
off
around, take a U-turn, head back out there on the field.
I think we need to see a pass from the Cards here.
They announce it as an official timeout. Whatever the case may be, there was a bit of a stop, and it's now 3rd and goal. One of the biggest moments all day long, and now the referee's blowing their whistles again. Spring Hill taking the timeout. Do the Cardinals dare throw the ball?
Yes.
Yeah? Are they looking for
yes,
Jarrett? Are they
you
looking
need
for
to.
White? They maybe trying to find something to Van Dong? What does it look like?
I would be looking towards Christian Jarrett, but honestly on this play, I think it's less about who you are in particular throwing to and more about the play design. I think this is where Coach Stefan needs to go deep in his bag. If you have any of those so-called money plays, right? We use them as kids when we're playing a game. We have a play that works. I'm going to use it. This is that point where if you have a route concept drawn up where you know against a certain coverage we can put Connor back there with this route concept and it's going to work and get someone free, This is the time, come up all season. This is the point so far where you need to do that.
I would love to see them overload a side, put multiple players
almost
on one
a
side.
punch.
Yeah, where he can maybe toss to Moody or throw to Jarrett or tuck it himself. Would love to see an option play here. Here it
Huge
is.
third down.
Third and goal. Watson will throw towards Jarrett, and did he bring it in?
Dropped
in the end zone. He had it for a moment. It was Christian Jarrett, who already had a receiving touchdown today. They still have another chance fourth down, but
it wasn't too close.
They had done it.
The fade wasn't too close on second down. It was in his hands on third down. Third time's the charm, right?
Oh, yeah. They did it. They beat the defense. They got the ball in the hands of their X-Factor receiver.
And Connor Watson put it in the right spot, too.
And now fourth down. Literally the game here. Fourth and goal. Watson will look to throw again for Jarrett again. It's overthrown, and it's incomplete. No flags. This game is over. The game of the week absolutely played out as an amazing game of football, which has ended here in overtime with the Spring Hill Broncos advancing to 3-0. Maybe a little bit unconvincing, but a really good offensive performance by both sides all day long. Just that final product was lacking for both teams. The Broncos finally, when they get the overtime, they begin at the 10, able to score, and 13-7 is going to be the final score here. 7-7 at the end of regulation. An overtime touchdown is the decisive score here. 2 years in a row, a one-possession deciding score between these two teams. Cardinals fall to 1-2. The Broncos advance to a surprising 3-0, but it just shows if they haven't figured everything out yet and they're 3-0, this team is dangerous.
It's a scary team.
And
Absolutely.
The Cardinals, though, have looked pretty good. I think that they can take a lot of positives away from this.
Absolutely.
Of course, all focus is on being good by November, and they made a lot of progress here today.
Yes.
But, man, it would have felt a lot better to come away with the win. But good signs, a lot of good throwing of the ball, which is something that we had not seen a lot of yet. There were huge plays. There were those large gains. Lots of positives, but heartbreak as well for the Cardinals here on the road for the first time this year, and they will unfortunately go back home with their heads hung a little bit after a overtime loss here on Varsity Sports Live. It has been a great game of football.
It's been a heck of a night.
Yeah, when we're back, it'll be the post-game show wrapping up this one on Varsity Sports Live.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com. The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Eudora Parks and Recreation is committed to creating community through parks, people, and programs. Their goal is to provide recreational opportunities for the community of Eudora that will enhance and promote a healthy lifestyle for all ages. The Eudora Parks and Recreation Department gives Eudora residents and others from surrounding communities the opportunity for family-oriented activities. Visit their website at eudoraparksandrec.org to view their youth and adult programs, leagues, memberships, facilities, activity guides, and more, and follow them on all social media at Eudora Parks and Rec.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
A heartbreaking loss for the Cardinals, no doubt about it.
No other way to say it.
But we already said there are also plenty of positives to take away, but it always feels a lot more positive when you win. Is the phrase winning fixes all. Winning solves everything.
The problems that arise when you lose.
Yeah. But we've seen already the Cardinals go through adversity and come out of it looking better for it.
Already this season.
Yeah, hopefully this group can do this. It's the same group. Hopefully they can respond. So I'm thinking about how last year the Cardinals lost to Spring Hill after the first 2 wins, and it turned into a 3-game losing streak. The injury to Errol Seaman factored in, but these Cardinals don't have Errol Seaman right now. And so I'm just hoping that the Cardinals can focus on the positives but add to their work ethic. If they can get to the point where
light a fire under you almost.
Yeah, if they can get to the point where every week they're practicing to the maximum, they're practicing as hard as they can, they're focusing on execution always and forever, then this will be a really dangerous group. But yeah, I think today we saw 2 teams that are not at their full form yet.
Neither one.
Battling against each other, figuring out who they are as they try and navigate how to beat their opponent. And in the end, the Broncos have been really good at playing without knowing what their fastball is, at just throwing the whole arsenal and still getting strikeouts, to continue Coach Feeback's baseball analogy that he chose to use in the interview leading up to this game. Hayden, take it away. Talk about whatever you want to with this game. There are a lot of talking points.
There's a lot of talking points. There's so many talking points that I could throw out that are just frustration, right? Just that sadness of being so close and not quite being able to finish it out. But I think I would have to look today on the overwhelming positives. A lot of my main major concerns about this team for the last couple of weeks are much, much smaller now, as strange as that may sound. Obviously, we know that this Broncos team is legit now. We know that this Broncos team is good. So when I say that the Cardinals fixed a lot of their issues, they were throwing the ball well tonight. We haven't seen that yet this year, where the Cardinals were able to put Connor Watson in the shotgun or under center for play action and move the ball downfield through the air with explosive plays. We haven't seen that yet this year, and we saw it tonight against what we know is a very, very good team. Not a single interception through the air for Watson. We had 1 fumble on the ground by Moody. Of course, that turnover on downs earlier in the game. So the stat sheet shows 2 turnovers. But the defense played phenomenal. Any way you slice it, letting up only 13 points, 7 of those points in regulation. 1 score in regulation is a phenomenal performance. That's great. This team let up 35 in week 1, I believe, and then 8 points last week and only 7 today. The defense is clearly very good. The defense clearly is disciplined. You're not seeing all those penalties anymore. The secondary is playing well. They can put everyone in single coverage on islands and have very high relative success. Coach Stefan clearly trusts this offense quite a bit. He's at the point now where we mentioned early in the game, at some point he was going to have to look to his quarterback, Connor Watson, and say, Connor, I need you to just go out and make a play. And tonight he had no hesitation whatsoever. We saw 4th downs early in the game where Coach Stefan clearly felt pretty good about just saying, all right, offense, go out there and execute. And he trusted them wholeheartedly to do so. I think there are almost more positives to take away from this game than there are negatives. This team is very, very good. You came into an electric atmosphere in the home opener, and you came within literally inches of finishing the job. On that 3rd down fade route, that could not have been any closer to being a touchdown. And we know there's a very, very good chance Nate Steinlage puts that following kick through, and we're looking at a 14-13 win here in what we would consider very, very convincing fashion. So there's not, of course, it's hard to be too excited, too positive after a loss, but this is a road loss, the first traveling game of the season on the road against a fantastic team, and this Cardinals team had them on the ropes up to overtime.
Yeah, we saw a lot from the defense making those crucial stands, which that's not the first time. We saw that in the first quarter of the game against Hayden, which ended 0-0. They made two different red zone stands and forced two different turnover on downs, which were huge at the time in that game. Of course, eventually got away from them, but
that kept the game close.
Yeah, and they did that here again as well. Lots of those turnovers on downs or forcing field goal attempts, which are never a given here in high school, forcing a lot of punts. They made Spring Hill punt for the first time this year, and I think for the fourth time this year as well. Something that I think is interesting is I thought for sure that we would see a Cardinals turnover today, the Cardinals defense getting a turnover. That just, when I looked at the way that the Broncos tend to turn the ball over and that the Cardinals got 2 picks last week, I figured we would see a turnover at some point. But I can also appreciate, and you can see very clearly, that the Cardinals have opted for that secure defense. And there really is, defensively, you have two options. You can try and be as sound as possible and just try to shut the other team down, stuff the run, make the passes fall incomplete, or you can go for the turnovers. You can go for the big play, which there's always the risk when you do that you give up extra touchdowns you wouldn't give up otherwise, but you'll also score extra touchdowns you wouldn't have otherwise. And you can see pretty clearly here that the Cardinals this season will be going with that, just being sound, making the stops. And I think that's a great approach here, especially at this level with not guaranteed kicks, that you can let your team get all the way down to the 5, let your opponent get all the way down to the 5, and still stop that drive and have it be a scoreless drive. And so those turnovers are just going to end up coming off of luck. And, there's the phrase, luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yes, so the harder I work, the luckier I get.
So we'll have to see if that luck can fall for the Cardinals more and more as this year goes on, and if Coach Steffen will work with his defense in a way that is, you can try and punch the ball out as you're making tackle attempts, all these things that you can do to try and get the ball away from your opponent. There's a lot, but what the Cardinals are doing now also is working really well. And
building a foundation.
Yeah, and lots of positives. 100% lots of positives. Would have loved to come away with a win, though. And you can talk about the overtime drop, which of course was huge, but the real decider was, the regulation interception, which is just, a harsh word, but like unforgivable or inexcusable.
I don't want to be too critical, but yes.
Like, and I don't know if that's on Watson, if that's on coaching, but he needs to know to just get rid of it if it's not there. And so whether that's the coach didn't tell him or that he didn't, really take that advice in.
Adrenaline can also completely cloud things. Of course.
But that should not have been an interception.
No.
You throw that ball in such a way that your guy gets it or no one gets it.
And then you give Nate Steinlage a chance to win the game.
You try that field goal or a 4th down, whatever. It was 3rd down. If it's 4th down, of course, you force that. But 3rd down, you just let your team fight for another down, and it ended up being they lost the game because of that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so there's all these things that could be just that little bit better, and the Cardinals will be a really scary team. To be able to shut down the offense like this, the offense of Spring Hill, is a really good sign. There's all kinds of positives. We don't have to tell you about them as much as you saw them. This was a great game of football.
Well, and we were talking about it just earlier today. You look at, I'm a huge pro sports football fan, and you look at, we were talking about earlier with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm a big Chiefs fan. The difference oftentimes between a good team and a great team is just how you execute in those closing minutes, in those truly do-or-die moments, those gotta-have-it moments, those big situations. The only real difference near the end of that game is when the Broncos had the ball in their hands late, they executed. When the Cardinals had the ball in their hands late, they stumbled just a little bit. And you're right, we don't want to be too critical of Connor Watson, but in that, and of course this may not be his fault. We don't want to sound like we're throwing mud at anybody here. But that is a situation where you throw it to where either your guy can come down with it or nobody does. And it's one of those misses that he's gonna be feeling about all night. He's gonna spend the weekend obsessing over it. This will move, all will be okay. This is very promising ball.
We will take a break here on this post-game show. When we're back, we will wrap everything up here, talk about what's next on Eudora Sports Live. And, so just keep it here. One last break, and then we will be done here today on what was an amazing game of the week, definitely deserving of the title.
Absolutely.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
All right, back here for the final time on the Eudora Animal Hospital postgame show, which I realize I have failed to introduce you to. Meet the postgame show brought to you by Eudora Animal Hospital. They've been serving pets in Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975, and they are proud supporters of Eudora Cardinal Athletics. And another thing we have to do is give away our Who's Smoking Player of the Game from Barbed Wire Barbecue. Enjoy the best barbecue in Douglas County at Barbed Wire Barbecue. For menu options, carry out, online orders, and more, visit their website, barbedwirebarbecue.com. And yeah, giving out that player of the game, a little bit tough after a loss like this. You could look at a player like Watson, but there was the crucial interception. You could look at CJ, but there was the crucial drop. I think in the end we're going to go ahead and give it to a freshman.
The do-it-everything player.
Yeah, Des Hubler will go ahead and take it home. He had a 50-yard kick return. He was all over the place defensively.
Defense
had a really
yes.
big day. He's listed as a wide receiver, DB, and a kick returner. He had a pretty big effect on the game in all of those positions here today.
Yep.
And so we will give that freshman, Des Hubler, the Barbed Wire Barbecue Who's Smoking Player of the Game. And meanwhile here, we had our eye on Paola Sports Live. They were playing against the Ottawa Cyclones, which is where Eudora will travel next week because they've got another game on the road, and the Cyclones have just sealed a 4-point win in a game 41-37 over the Panthers, which means that they are 3-0. So after taking on a 2-0 team here, the Cardinals will travel to a 3-0 team. Doesn't get any easier.
Quite a gauntlet to start the year.
Yes, as they will have to take on the Cyclones in Ottawa, and we will, of course, be there for that next Friday. Let's see. Do we have any other broadcasts coming up this week, Hayden?
I believe we may have a volleyball game.
Looking through.
Not 100% sure.
The calendar here doesn't look like it. Looks like we are clear all the way through to Friday. So you can check back in here for that game, which will be in Ottawa, as we've said. Second game on the road this year for the Cards. Following this, their second loss on the year. They are now 1-2, but they put up a really great fight, and this definitely was worthy of the title of Game of the Week. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us.
Always.
It's been an honor and a privilege to broadcast this game. Cardinals come up short, going 13-7. They are now 1-2 as the Broncos march on to 3-0 in what has been a really impressive start, considering they're still trying to find their fastball.
I think we both agree this is a very, very impressive 1-2 Cardinals team, though.
Yes. For Hayden Harves and Reed McAvoy, go Cardinals and good night.